The injuries look like those seen in people exposed to poisons like mustard gas.
That's how doctors are describing what they see in the lungs of vapors.
The chemicals can essentially burn your lungs. Find the truth at BehindTheHaze.com.
At Toyota's national sales event, we don't just help you get the perfect vehicle. We're here to open new doors that lead to your road to greatness. Your journey starts at Toyota's national sales event.
Toyota, let's go places.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
I'm Corey. I'm a dairy nutritionist here in the Treasure Valley. I decided to get vaccinated because I wanted to do my part to protect myself and my family and my customers from COVID-19. As soon as the vaccines were readily available, I was vaccinated. I would encourage people to do the research, listen to the healthcare providers. When I went to get my COVID-19 vaccine, there was hardly any wait. It was an easy process, is readily available. Since I got vaccinated, I'm confident I'm protected against the COVID-19 virus. My life has returned to business as usual.
Ads like this keep popping up, but I see through the hype because those vape clouds people claim are just water vapor contain as many as 31 different chemicals, like formaldehyde, the stuff they preserve dead bodies with. And while the flavors sound all harmless, we still have no idea what these ingredients could be doing to our bodies. But I already see vaping for exactly what it is. Get the real facts at BehindTheHaze.com.
It's not a secret that finding a new car this year is a little tricky. Between chip shortages and supply problems, there's more reasons than ever to come to our no-problem dealerships when you need a new car or truck. Our acquisitions team works hard to make sure that we have a great selection of vehicles to choose from, and our easy-to-buy, easy-to-do business with sales team is ready to deliver the same great value price that we've had for nearly 20 years. Teton Toyota, where it's always no problem to buy and service your car.
Good evening and welcome to Ravston Stadium here in Idaho Falls, Idaho, as we bring you the IdahoSports.com broadcast of the Idaho Falls Tigers playing host to the Madison Bobcats in a 5A matchup here in Idaho Falls, Idaho on a chilly but clear night. You notice all the stands, everyone bundled up in their best fall or winter cold gear. Here on senior night at Idaho Falls High School, as we are getting ready to have the Pledge of Allegiance in the stadium, we're going to fade out for just a moment to commercial as they have the national anthem.
At Toyota's national sales event, we don't just help you get the perfect vehicle. We're here to open new doors that lead to your road to greatness. Your journey starts at Toyota's national sales event.
Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We just have concluded the national anthem here at Ravston Stadium as we prepare for this matchup. It's an exciting matchup. The Idaho Falls Tigers coming off a very emotional win last week over the Skyline Grizzlies as they pulled off the first win in 9 straight years over their crosstown rivals, the Skyline Grizzlies. So they're ramped up and ready to go. I'm here in the broadcast booth. My name is Tim Belknap. I'm here with my partner, Matt Kelly. Say, Matt.
How you doing tonight, folks?
We hope that you're snuggled up in a nice, warm place, preferably next to the fire. Lots of popcorn. You've got our game brought up as we bring you both the video and audio for tonight's game. Madison looking to establish themselves a little bit here as they're having a 4-3 season, excuse me. Had some good wins and had a couple of nasty losses. They've beat 93's, their Idaho Falls rivals, I guess, Hillcrest and Bonneville fairly soundly. They beat Thunder Ridge fairly soundly and Bear River in Utah, but they've lost to Lewiston, Highland, and Skyline. IF a 5-1 record as we get ready now for the kickoff. Madison kicks off to the Tigers, and we are underway here at Ravston Stadium. The Tigers are going to take the kickoff, and they'll bring it out on a nice push. It's going to come out to I believe that's the 30-yard line. Down markers are turned away from us, so a little hard to see. The field is not painted, and they're using the cones turned at just enough of an angle that it's hard for me to see. But looked like Hunter Miller came in to on that kickoff and was able to make that return and brought it out. Skylar Olson, the quarterback for the Tigers, brings the ball out. They're going to hand it off up the middle, and a great run up the middle as they're going to pick up a gain of 12 on the play. Trying to see that runner. That is Kian Jesperson for the Tigers. Jesperson having a great year. He's racking up some solid games, and that's exactly what you want to see. Matt, up that middle is a strong running game because it'll open up your corners, right?
Absolutely.
Olson in the shotgun now. He's going to hand off again to Jesperson. Jefferson pulled down at the line of scrimmage. They read that one perfectly. That was a great little blitz. Looked like the linebacker coming in for the Bobcats. That's Anson Thompson, number 24, and he didn't give him any gain whatsoever. Okay, the Tigers now on a second down, second and 10, excuse me. As Olson, again, out of the shotgun. He's going to call for a long snap. He's looking downfield, takes a short pass into behind the line of scrimmage, and unfortunately it drops. He tries to throw out to Colton Litta and just threw it a little low and behind him. It's a perfect recipe for never making the catch. Olson had a great season, though, so probably just a little pregame, or not pregame, but early game jitters. We'll see some great things out of him. He orchestrated the winning drive at the end of the game last week, so he's, I'm sure, ready for this. He's going deep now. He's got a receiver, but the receiver just wasn't able to keep up. That's Peyton Sampson. Great pass. Boy, Sampson could have picked up an extra 5 yards. That was touchdown all over it.
Yeah, I think he stumbled a little bit in his stride, but
did he? Okay. I was watching the throw thinking, man, that Olson kid's got great dynamics. The mechanics of him as a quarterback. You watched him set up. He was looking, and then he just launched it, and I'm like, wow, I'd like to see that. He's got some potential. Tigers now going to kick because they weren't able to connect on that third down. Bobcats are going to field it at about the 5-yard line, 10-yard line, it looks like. Bring it out to the 23. That's going to be Kieran Valora, and I believe Valora is their quarterback, if I don't miss my memory. He is their quarterback, senior quarterback, back for a second year. He was part of the driving offense for a rough year for Bobcats. Bobcats have a long history of winning teams, and last year wasn't exactly the season that they wanted. This one's struggling a little bit. New coach for the Bobcats. Mitch Buck, longtime coach, retired, and they're making some adjustments here as they try to get a new coach. All right, the Bobcats going to come out of the shotgun again. Seems to be the normal now for high schools, out of the shotgun. They're going to look. They're going to go deep. He's got a receiver, and the catch. They make it. He's going to go all the way into the end zone. Touchdown, Madison. Cameron Porter with the reception from Ben Dredge. And on the first play of the game, the Bobcats open up the scoring and make it seem like that was easy.
Hey, we're talking about quarterback dynamics. You know, this Bobcat quarterback, I forget his name.
Dredge. Ben
You know,
Dredge.
He was able to just hit him directly in stride, and I think we'll see plenty of that coming forward. The rest of this game.
Dredge is a junior, so not a lot of experience probably there. The kick now is going to be up and good. And the Bobcats on the board. On the kick, it's Easton Kirk. And the Bobcats now 7-0 over the Tigers with 10 minutes and 39 seconds to go in the game. Idaho Falls has got to be saying, what happened? A little shell-shocked, I bet. Because they came out, they executed well that series the Tigers had, kicked it, typically in an area where they had them back at the 20, and the Bobcats just drop back and throw a deep bomb. It's not very often in high school that you see a completion that's going to go for 77 yards.
I mean, Tim, do you think it's a combination of these field goal posts are orange? Their big win off of Skyline, the Grizzlies last week, rather, and just having the more dominant, win-loss
performance last week. I was trying to say the Bobcats. I was trying to remember who they played last week. The Skyline. Skyline beat them 38-14. So, yeah, they could have said, "Look, we're going to prove to another Idaho Falls team that we can take him." And now they're going to kick off. Tigers again with the ball. It follows a great wall of blockers. That's just about the same play, the same place that they opened up the game with, as Hunter Miller takes that, follows 4 or 5 blockers. His problem is the blockers slowed down to block, and he blew by him. His speed, he should have probably kept that in check. He would have kept going a little farther, but he's got some good wheels as evidenced by that play, and just kept going. Skylar Olson back in at quarterback in the shotgun. One running back next to him. He's going to hand off to that running back. Running back's going to pick up a gain of probably 3 yards on the play. That running back, Sam Gamino Salinas. That's a mouthful. Can you say that quick 3 times?
Sam Gamino Salinas. Sam Gamino Salinas. Sam Gamino Salinas.
Yeah, I'm impressed, Matt. Nice job. No, I can't remember. Gamino Salinas picks up 3 yards on the carry. Tigers back at the line. Olson now with a quick pass over the middle. Makes a great pass. Watching the official, they call it a good pass. He catches it. Hayden Turnage with the catch, but he was behind his receiver. He was going down at the sideline, so you always wonder if that's a legal catch. And the officials indicate it is. That's going to set up a 3rd and 3. The Tigers needing to get this and not go 3 and out again. They line up again. Olson in the shotgun with one back in the backfield. He again hands off to that back, and that back hits the hole. He's going up. He gets, that looked like a very close to either a horse collar or a face mask, but what a great run. Again, Gamino Salinas. Tell you what, I'm liking what I see out of that young man. Not only has he got a cool name, he's got some wheels.
He does have a running back's name, doesn't he?
He does.
Gamino Salinas.
But, can you get it all on the back of his shirt? Olson takes a low snap. He picks it up, throws it out to the side. Receiver makes the catch, pushed out of bounds by the defender. He's going to pick up probably a gain of somewhere between 3 to 5. Trying to see them move the chains. My eyes are crooked. It's not matching where they've got the down marker. Down marker saying that he didn't gain anything. Turnage on the reception. So either they classified that as an incomplete catch or it was literally no gain on the play, but 2nd and 10 for the Tigers as Olson takes the snap, rolls out to the left, throws downfield. He's got a receiver who makes the catch in first down territory, and he's staying with his crew. That's Hunter Miller, the guy who likes to outrun his coverage, had to come back for the pass. Now, explain that one. But that's going to mark it. I'm just trying to see where they mark it. It looks like to be about the 8-yard line. No. I wish I could see these side markers. Not the 8. It's going to be the 18-yard line. 1st and 10. Tigers. They're going to fake no, they gave it to Samino Galinas, and not much there. In fact, he might have lost some yards. They are going to say he lost a yard on the play. Well read by the Bobcats as they just forced that line. He was supposed to hit it on the left side guard tackle slot, and that was full, so he kind of ran down the line looking for another hole, and there just wasn't one, and they took him down for a loss. Tigers now looking again on a 2nd and 11. Olsen back to pass. He rolls out, trying to find a receiver. He throws a hard pass. It's connected, but it's going to be just a short gain. That looks like that was a completion to Thompson, and they're going to say he gained probably 3 yards is all they're going to give him. Looked like his forward progress is a little farther than that, Matt, but I'm not the official, so we'll say he knows what he's doing. Line judge down there making the spot. Okay, big 3rd down, 3rd and 8. Tigers drop back. Olsen looking for a receiver. He's got one. Very close to the 1st down mark. I think they're probably going to have to call for an official spot on that one because Thompson makes the reception. They run up to the line, and it looks like it's going to be just short, 4th and inches for the Tigers in the red zone. Matt, what's the call? Oh, dear. You see the pink flags fly. The right guard for the Tigers stood up. Probably all the noise, excitement, who knows, but there's going to be an illegal motion call against the Tigers. They'll move back 5 yards. Suddenly, that 4th and inches becomes 4th and 6, and not quite as fun.
Yeah, I was going to say my plan was trying to get him offside, get him to jump.
It worked. Just the wrong person.
Wrong direction.
Olsen takes it. He rolls around to the side, looks in his pocket. He's hit hard. Going to be intercepted in the end zone, and the Bobcats pick that off. Don't give him the option. Trying to see. That looks like that was number 30. Zach Pena is going to get the interception and just stalls out what was a beautifully executed Tiger drive. That's got to be disheartening now. 2 of those.
Yeah, absolutely. First one, it was just 3 and out. This one, they were able to march down. They showed that they are moving the ball at least. And
that's true. You're going to have a couple of episodes where you definitely don't get everything you wanted, but when you get inside that road zone, you got to come away with some kind of points. So hopefully that doesn't happen for him again. Dredge now taking control from the 20 for the Bobcats. He's going to fake the handoff and goes up the middle. He's gutsy because he goes up and he takes 3 or 4 hits. He's going to pick up a big gain, probably about a 14-yard gain, depending on where the officials mark that. That is, they'll put the ball now just about the 34-yard line, and that'll be a 1st and 10 Bobcats. So Bobcats racking up some great offense on 2 plays.
Yeah, I obviously, by the way, I'm not knowing their names. I haven't seen many Madison games this year, but I'm liking what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, well, they run the same play. Dredge takes the ball up the middle, and the same result as he's going to take that down for another 14-yard gain. Boy, at this point in time, 2 for 2 on that play. I'd probably run an off tackle and then hit that again. It's certainly working for the offensive coordinator for the Bobcats as they are looking at some great offensive, over 100 yards in offense now for the Bobcats, and 7 minutes left in the game. So that's a great way to start the game. Tigers not quite there, but they've been able to move the ball, just not capitalize.
Absolutely. I saw some substitutions for the defensive Tigers line here, and I wonder if they're
trying to figure out how to fill up that middle.
Exactly.
They're gonna run that play again, and not quite the same result as the Tigers do figure out how to make that hole plug just a little bit. They bring in one of their big guys. That's TJ Lambert, 6 foot, 175 defensive lineman. So he was getting in there and making sure that Dredge didn't get more than just looks like 3-4 yards out of it. So maybe we'll see the Bobcats run a different play. That was 3 straight plays. Not a lot of variation as man goes in motion now. Dredge is going to drop back to pass. He's going to pass to his motion man. Well defended by the Tigers. That was dangerous as the Tigers defender didn't look back. He just raised his hands, and either he's good at divining or he's prophetic, because he raised his hand right where the ball was, and he wasn't looking. If he'd have hit his defender, that would have been a PI easy call. But as it was, perfect timing. So he had to play in the lottery or something, because he's definitely able to do it. Hey, folks, just a quick shout-out to our power boosters tonight for the Bobcats. Bingham Memorial Orthopedic Institute, Killing It Clothing, Teton Auto Group, Upper Valley Orthopedics, John Adams, GMC, Grand Peaks, Affordable Quality Healthcare, Madison Memorial, Taylor Chevrolet, and Flam Funeral Home. A little bit of action on the play. Looks like a fumble.
Actually, interception.
Interception. Okay, see what's happening. I'm reading the sponsors. An interception by, it said, the public address announcer here, being very active, got a great voice. It sounded like he said that was interception by Parker Chaffin for the Tigers.
Yeah,
congratulations,
right.
Parker.
Yep.
Tigers now getting another shot, which is what they were looking for. Right about midfield, they have the ball. They set up. Olsen again quarterbacking for their team. He sets back. He throws that deep pass that he looks beautifully on, but it goes about 5 yards deep into the sideline. Not catchable. He's got a strong arm. I really like to see that kid throw. I know he's going to that sideline so that there's man-to-man and not a safety caving in, but I'd really like to see what he could do with a guy just going straight down that receiver going straight on a slant into the middle of the field. I think he could light that up with that arm. So second down, Olsen's going to take the snap, and he's going to keep it. He's going to take a page from the Bobcats as he just pounds up the middle. He'll pick up a 12-yard gain. That'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Apparently that's the play to run tonight, as both the Tigers and the Bobcats finding some success in that play.
Yeah, Skylar Olsen, quarterback for the Tigers tonight. He's a senior. Tonight's his night. It's senior night here in Madison Stadium.
It was a long senior night, folks. A little late getting started because they had 43 senior introductions between the band, the cheerleaders, and the football players. So went a little bit long. Tigers now going to hand off again up the middle. It's a fumble ball. Ball bounces up. Indications are that it's going to be to the Bobcats. And it's a game of turnovers tonight. Looks like number 22, Cutler Castello gets the fumble recovery, and the Bobcats now with the ball. We might just play this whole game here within a 20-yard window here in front of us, Matt.
Yeah, Tim, if you were telling me this game was happening, these change of possessions were happening when it was snowing and raining, I would have believed you. But these,
well, remember how cold it is? You get those bare hands out there,
that's true.
It is cold, folks.
Up
I know
here in the booth, we don't really.
We're a little insulated, and we've got on some gear, so it's not quite as bad. But those hands have got to be freezing. You know they got gloves on. But. All right, the Bobcats over the middle. They make the reception. Great quick pass as Dredge hits Easton Kirk. Kirk's going to pick up that 14-yard gain. Madison, I think they should patent the 14-yard gain because that's the fourth one of this game that they've had very consistently, and it's not the same play as they ran before, that quarterback up the middle. But that's a good way to make sure that Idaho Falls doesn't cheat and try to plug that middle and pull off the receivers as they keep that corner slant alive. Dredge now going to take the man in motion, fake it to him, and he's going to take that middle, and he does it well. The Tigers throw him to the ground. A little tough. They're trying to make a statement. Stop doing that, I think. Colton Lydia will get the tackle as he throws Dredge down. But Dredge picks up a gain of 7. And a quarterback keeper, a 7-yard gain is a nice gain. I wouldn't know. Was never a quarterback. I don't think I ever got a 7-yard gain. So. Yeah. All right, Bobcats with trips down on the short screen in front of us. One of those goes in motion now, and Dredge is going to take that ball again. And the Tigers, nothing doing. They're going to grab him really at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and that's going to set up 3rd and, I'm going to say 4. Matt, you think that's about right?
We'll give it 4, yep.
All right, so up the middle is probably not an option. You got 4 yards. Do you hand it to a running back, go off tackle, or do you make that short slant pass that has been working for him?
Yeah, I like what I've seen in the air so far, and I'm hoping we see something there. So, like you said, a slant across the middle, or
Yeah, just take it 5 yards. That's all you need. Take this receiver down here on the short screen. They're going to go with a quick pass out of the backfield, and they're going to do it opposite of what you and I said, but it works for them. So they'll take it down, and it'll pick up the first down for the Bobcats. As just looking to see, that's Valora, who actually went in motion. As now I'm wondering who threw the pass, as I wasn't even paying attention to who it was, just thinking it was Valora. And it was Valora with the reception, and he takes it down. Now that's confidence in the toughness of your quarterback when you'll send him in motion, because that was a play out there when you turn around and make that catch, you don't see that defender coming in on you, and that's when you get a rib hit, and you don't want your quarterback to have a rib hit. If you don't believe me, ask Jaron Hall down at BYU. It's 30 games he set out with that. Dredge is going to take the ball. He's going up the middle. He's going to find a seam. Takes the ball all the way down. I think they'll mark that real close to the 15-yard mark.
We got some laundry on the field around the.
Oh yeah.
Around the 25.
That's an interesting spot. That's got to be an illegal block or a hold, and that's exactly what it is. It's a hold. The laundry this month, as you've noticed on the camera, all pink. And when you're used to seeing yellow flags, the pink always catches me off guard. But certainly in observance of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the month of October. And we try to support that, as do all the high schools, colleges, and the NFL during the month of October. So they'll mark that off. It's going to set up first, because they happened after the first down had been called, apparently. So they'll put the ball, trying to see if we're at the 50, the 40, the 45-yard mark. 40, is that right?
Yeah, 40.
36 mark, excuse me, 36-yard mark. I'm counting the wrong way. Got to get across the 50. All right, the Bobcats now with 1st and 15. They'll take the snap. Dredge looks for a quick pass, and he's going to be caught in the backfield. He breaks out of it. And, folks, that should have been a loss for 5. And he breaks it forward. He's going to pick up probably 3 yards on it. And tough. Man, this Dredge kid is tough. Not only can he run, he can take a hit. I'm waiting for them to do the halfback pass with him in motion so we can see that he's got some receiving yards too. He can be the all-around player.
Well, and I feel like I keep mentioning it, that that's a very classic southeastern Idaho thing to do. You see it a lot in the 2As and 1A schools, but just put the most athletic student or athlete at quarterback.
Yeah, that's true. He's proven that he's got the abilities. Now he hands off. They're going to power that forward. Probably going to pick up a gain of probably another 3. As give the ball to Ben Dredge. Now I've got to pay closer attention to who's quarterbacking, because it looks like they're running out of the Wildcat, and Dredge is getting the handoff, or the same thing no, Valora wasn't the quarterback. See, I'm getting all mixed up, folks. Valora's their receiver, isn't he?
They don't have their positions marked on the roster, I've noticed.
No, they don't. That's why I'm a little confused, because our pregame, they had Valora as their quarterback coming back, but Dredge taking the snaps tonight, and Valora so I think he was hurt, but he was in that receiver position. So they've obviously seen something on the field that says maybe that's a better combination with Dredge as a junior and Valora as a senior. Or maybe he just didn't want to get hit anymore.
0 to 7, drawing close to the end of the first quarter, I guess would definitely tell you that it's working. So
yeah, and the yardage. We don't keep the statistics here on the deck during the broadcast, but the statistics would say that Madison's got to have probably close to 125, 135 yards of offense. Idaho Falls not far behind at probably close to 85 to 90 yards of offense. So a 7-0 score is interesting. Now the Bobcats saw something they didn't like, so they'll call for a timeout. We'll take just a minute to recognize the rest of our sponsors for tonight's broadcast. For the Idaho Falls Tigers, that's Teton Auto Group, Rockwell Homes, Bingham Memorial Orthopedic Institute, and Conan Heating and Air Conditioning. Rockwell Homes here in Idaho Falls is Southeast Idaho's #1 home builder by using local subcontractors and upholding the highest quality standards. Rockwell Homes strives to exceed your expectations and to create a unique and innovative home tailored to your needs and lifestyle. Are you ready to start building? Well, let Rockwell Homes help design the perfect place for you and your family to call home. To see available homes, floor plans, and other great information, go online to rockwellhomes.net. The Johnson family and everyone at Rockwell Homes are proud of the local student athletes and want to wish them all good luck in tonight's game. So our thanks to Rockwell Homes. And we're back now as the Bobcats back onto the field. You always hope you come out of a timeout with a great play to make it worth calling a timeout. Dredge drops back. He's got a good throw. Receiver gets it, makes the move, pushes forward. He's going to pick up the first down and a gain of probably 15 on that. What a great move. He made that catch right at the down, just past the down markers. Faked behind and then rolled the other way, and his defender just didn't even find his shoes trying to catch up to him. Cameron Porter, looks like, made that reception. A great move. And so the Bobcats now with not just a first down, but the ball at the 6-yard line, 1st and goal, as they threaten to rack up another touchdown on the somewhat stunned Tigers, to be honest with you. The Tiger defense has got to be looking around saying, "What? They're picking us apart." Defensive coordinator's probably saying that too. All right, Bobcats going to run that up the middle again. It looks really close to the touchdown, and they do get into the end zone. Touchdown. And Dredge with the carry, with the bread and butter that's moved them down the field. Dredge is going to take those points for himself. And they get in and get the score. Now, a 2-touchdown lead on the Tigers with just under a minute to play in the first quarter. So Madison having things go their way here in the first quarter at Ravston Stadium as they line up for the PAT. The PAT is up and good. It's Jeff Williams, the kicker for the Bobcats, getting the right guy there in the position. Now 14-0, Madison over the Tigers, as the Tigers are going to regroup here. I doubt we'll see them try to make it all up in 57 seconds, but there's no need to. They got a whole second quarter to go, Matt.
Exactly. You know, I think that's going to be key to this game. It's going to be sticking with it to the end, not just starting a game, but also finishing it all the way through. You know, Madison and Idaho Falls both, I think, definitely need to see 4 quarters of action here.
Well, that's true. 1 quarter as Idaho Falls taught Skyline last week. Skyline went into the 3rd quarter leading that game. I think it was 34-14. A good lead going into the 4th quarter. IF won the game 38-34.
No kidding.
So you don't rest on your laurels. Great point, Matt.
Well, I was going to say on the collegiate level, you also saw that with, you know, local teams, Boise State and you know, the BYU Cougars.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. That's painful for me. All right, the kickoff now. The Bobcats kick off. The short kick is going to be fielded with about the same result, frankly, maybe a little less, as the Tigers recovered at the 30. If they'd have let Miller take it, then I think that they would have got another 7 yards, because he's consistent in where he takes that ball. So Tigers now back up to the line, trying to find the magic. They've actually moved the ball well, just not able to get it in. Now they're going to give that handoff as they try to make the corner around the end. Madison reads it well, follows the line. They'll pick up a yard, maybe 2. Not much else out of that play. As I think that's Thompson. Nope, that's Lidda, who takes that, and he just, the defensive end did what he was supposed to. He turned it in, and the linebackers just ran that line. The defensive tackle ran that line, and they literally got 1 yard out of the play. So it'll be 2nd and 9 for the Tigers. Olsen out of the shotgun, drops back. He's going to throw. He's got a receiver. The receiver makes the catch, and it looks like it's going to be good. Waiting to see. That is Peyton Thompson. He gets the ball at the 41-yard line. 1st and 10 Tigers, and there's that ball movement. Tigers are doing it slowly and methodically. That'll burn some time as we're just about 16 seconds left. This will probably be the last snap of the first quarter here at Ravston. Out of the shotgun, the Tigers looking. Olsen throws to his running back in the backfield. He makes a great break. The Bobcats count their blessings on that, as they got a shoestring tackle, or he'd have probably broke another 15 yards. That'll bring us to the end of the first quarter of play. The score here at Ravston Stadium, the Madison Bobcats 14, the Idaho Falls Tigers 0. Matt, you want to take just a few minutes? We're going to recognize a couple more of our sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely. We would like to thank C&B Operations for all your commercial John Deere, new and used agriculture equipment. Choose C&B Operations, Eastern Idaho's premier John Deere dealership. Visit C&B Operations at 1102 West Bridge Street in Blackfoot for all your equipment needs, or visit them online at www.deerequipment.com.
We also recognize Thompson, Holman, Weiler. They've served East Idaho for 25 years. The law firm offers extensive experience in a wide range of legal services and represents a broad range of clients, from local individuals to international corporations. They realize how important a client's case is to them individually, so they strive to give the case the attention it would receive if the client was handling it themselves. No matter the size, if you need an attorney, call Michael White at Thompson Holman Weiler today at 208-522-1230, or visit their website at www.thwlaw.com. That's thwlaw.com. Thompson Holman Weiler is proud to support Skyline and Idaho Falls football. They wish the Tigers good luck in tonight's game. All right, okay, Matt, bring us up to speed. I was busy reading ad copy. Keep the lights on.
We had a little bit of a loose ball, but the Idaho Falls Tigers were able to recover it, it looks like.
Looks like a bad snap, as it was Olsen went down on that recovery. Is that correct?
Yep, and then they've, I guess they've just converted, gotten a fresh set of downs.
Fumble forward for a first down. Like how that happens.
Yep.
Olsen takes the snap. He's going to hand it off up the middle. That's our buddy, our favorite name. Remember what that is?
G and then S. Salinas.
Sam Gamino Salinas.
Gamino.
He's going to pick up 4 yards on the carry. Man, I just want to say that name all night. Sam Galino Salinas. I hope his family's listening, because he's got the best name of the game, and he's having a pretty good night. Yeah. Not to mention that, I guess. We're going to give him another shot. He's caught in the backfield and run down. That's a sack. Sam Rasmussen for the Bobcats just read that thing all day long. Nobody touched him as he came in unabated, and they lose the 4 yards they just ran for. So be interesting to see what the call is now as they look at 3rd and 9 on that 50-yard line, roughly where Skyler is. Skyler throws downfield, a great pass. He's got a receiver. The receiver makes the catch. He's going to go all the way into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. Miller, that's Hunter Miller, makes a great catch. Olsen just put it right over his shoulder, and he used his rocket blasters to just dance into the end zone. And that's a good way to start the second quarter for the Tigers, as they say, okay, we let you have the first quarter. Now it's our turn. And the Tigers on the board now as they line up for the extra point to hopefully just draw them within a touchdown of their opponents, the Bobcats. They're lining up. Carter Manwaring will be kicking for the Tigers. Snap is up. The kick is up and looks to be good for me. It is good. So now the score, the Idaho Falls Tigers 7, the Madison Bobcats 14 in what is now anybody's game. For the first quarter, a lot of it looked to be maybe just Madison had Idaho Falls' number. And I think the Tigers shook off a few of the Emotion Bowl antique celebration emotions. And now back in this game, Idaho Falls really one loss in a really tough 5A, not just conference, but league this year. Their only loss this year has come to the number 1 5A team in the state. They're really rival up there. I guess not rival because Colleen's a rival, but in the 5A ranks, Rigby is the place to go to get a state trophy these days. Out of the last 2 years, one out of those 2 years, they've had a state title, but they've played in both of the state title games, coming up just a little short last year. So if you want a title, you've got to go through Rigby, and the Tigers weren't able to capitalize on that. But that's their only loss, 6-1. So they're wanting to shake off the cobwebs and show the Bobcats that they want to maintain their rankings in the state as they've done so far this year. And their kickoff's going to go into the end zone. There'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 20. Give us a minute just to recognize maybe another of our sponsors.
Yeah, and I should clarify, it's www.deerequipment.com for CNB operations. And they just are proud supporters of the athletics here in this local area.
CNB operations in Blackfoot, proud supporters of really all East Idaho. They do a great job down there. All right, the Bobcats, as Dredge looks over with an empty backfield. He's going to take the snap, and he's going to look for that hole that's been working for him. He takes it. Not going to get the yardages that he was, but he'll probably pull a 3-4 yard gain out of that. Yeah, you love to see it. Dredge not showing up as a big guy, at least from the eyeball test. The Bobcats don't give you any stats on size or weight, but he doesn't look very big when his entire team towers over him in that huddle. And he's not afraid. He hits guys, and he pulled 3 tacklers down another 2 yards beyond the hit. So Dredge, tough kid. As he quarterbacking this team, I can see why they're using him like they are. He takes the snap, and again, going to hit that hole. He's going to pick up another couple yards, very close to now the first down marker, depending on where they spot it. That looks like it'll be inches.
I think they might.
And they will bring. Yeah, they're going to bring those chains out. So maybe we will do some. Well, they're measuring. Nope, they decide to not measure. They're just going to call it 1st and 10, Bobcats. That's interesting when they call for the measurement and then say, what the heck, I'll just give it to you. I don't see that very often. Usually if it's even close on an eyeball look, they'll call those chains out. So
right.
Maybe officials saying, let's just get this game over with. I'm not sure. All right, the Bobcats with a new 1st and 10. Take the snap. They're going to fake the handoff. And again, Dredge up the middle. Boy, that young man is impressive. He just keeps taking a pounding. And doesn't seem to be any the worse for wear. As a junior, I'm excited to see what this young man will be able to do, not just the rest of this year, but as he moves through his senior year too. Somebody with that kind of athletic ability and now game experience could help the Bobcats get that powerhouse program back on its feet.
And does it have him listed as a senior on here?
Junior is what it says.
As a junior.
Yeah. So he's got this year to learn and next year to be a champion. So Dredge takes a snap. Now he's going to throw a quick pass out into the flat. Catch is made and the down taken. That's our old quarterback making the catch there. Number 14, Kieran Valora. And I can see why they've made that change because Valora, he made that catch and then advanced the ball. They'll pick up the 1st down, bring the ball down here to the, looks like the 43-yard line. So they've moved about 20 yards here. Again, eating up that yardage. It really could be that whoever maintains control of the ball maintains the win. The way these two teams both eating up some yards on the field. Dredge is going to keep that ball. He's going to go up the middle again. Going to get a great gain. Probably end up being about a 6-yard gain for him. And man, he knows how to make that play work for him. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think a big part of it is coming down to time of possession. Because as a defender, you just you begin to get it in your head that, you know, you've just been out here almost this whole entire game, and you know, what in the world is our offense doing if I'm out here just playing my heart out? But in reality, it's just, you know, the Bobcats, they do this huddle, and then they go and they run and they keep the clock running. And so it seems like they have
time of possession in their favor tonight. They have the score 14-7 in their favor, and if they can slowly and methodically eat that clock away, and now they're going to call a timeout and stop the clock. But I was just looking with 7 minutes and 2 seconds on the scoreboard until halftime. If they could just eat that up, take another 3-4 minutes to get into the end zone and get another score and go in 21-7 at half, I mean, you still give IF a couple of minutes to try and move it, but I'd take those odds.
Yeah.
Tonight, that's kind of been the game, is that IF only got one score out of the first 12, well, I guess probably 14 minutes, because they scored about 2 minutes into the second quarter. But that's what I try to do, just eat up a lot of clock and try to make sure that you can take your team in 21-7 at halftime. That's a much better halftime speech than the Tigers would probably hear at a 21-7.
Yep.
All right, we're going to come back to live action as Madison, time to use a timeout to execute a play, hopefully, as they almost look like they audibleized there as Dredge walks up the line, yells something. Valora in motion, Dredge back to throw. He's going deep. He's got a receiver, but it's well defended. Nothing there, as it just went too deep for either one of them. That looks like it was Cameron Porter sent deep, and Porter was being well defended. His defender was just in front of him enough to slow him down without hitting him. But you can't ask for a better defense than that, as now the Bobcats are going to look at a 3 and a long 4.5 maybe. They're not used to that. They've been doing 1-2 first down, 1-2 first down. So now a third down, they're going to see if they can capitalize on that. The Tigers, you see a few players waving their arms, trying to get the hometown crowd on their feet. And there's a pretty good crowd over there, even though the cold temperatures makes it not a lot of fun. Dredge takes the snap, a quick pass out to Valora. Tigers had a shot, but it looks like Valora's going to make that first down, and he does. The official now calls the spot just a yard beyond the first down markers, and they capitalize on that third down. So answers the question that I asked earlier, Matt. They can do it.
Keeping those chains moving, keeping the clock, running. I guess that one went out of bounds, but
yeah, I was going to say that stopped the clock, but the crowd reminding the scorekeeper that he didn't stop the clock. So the Madison crowd, I'm not sure. You'd think they'd want the clock to keep going, so they let him know. All right, 1st and 10. Madison, Dredge again out of the shotgun, takes the snaps, going to take the move up the field, and well executed by the Tigers as they read that one pretty much all the way. Not much to gain, maybe a yard. The tackler for the Tigers getting up slowly and now calls for himself to be taken out. That's Landon Knighting. He made the tackle and a great read on the play, but he looks like a little gimpy. So they pull him out, bring in another player to fill the hole. Hope he's okay, and maybe just, I don't know, maybe got his wind knocked out of him perhaps. I don't know. Trying to think of the least painful long-term injury, and I don't know that there is one. So, all right, Dredge just right in front of us now with the snap. He's going to take the ball on the option, kicks it out to Valora. Valora's in the backfield, and Idaho Falls reads that like it was their own play as Hunter Herrera comes into the backfield, and that's going to be a nasty loss as they'll lose probably 4 yards on that play. And it wasn't just Herrera. He had a backup. If he missed that tackle, there was another Idaho Falls player right there.
Yeah.
You can't execute that option any better than what that was.
Exactly. That's what I really liked about that play. They had that, nonverbal communication, or there possibly could have been, hey, you got him, you got cut off, and that's just what they teach you. In practice is just the first guy takes out the guy that has currently has the ball.
That's right. Do your job. Do your job. That's it. All right, Dredge now drops back to throw. He throws over the middle. It looks like he made a catch. Did he step out of bounds? Are they going to call it? Nope, a bounce off the ground. I couldn't see it, folks. That opposite sideline had me a little bit of glare on the glass and not able to see the reception, but the officials call it an incomplete pass. And now they're faced with a 4th and 4. So while they've been able to chew up the clock down to 5 minutes and seconds here, the Bobcats faced with that 4 yards they've got to get. And now they decide they're punting. I missed the punter back there. Nice high punt. The Tigers call for fair catch. He waved for that fair catch early because I was watching the Bobcats right there within a handshake distance and didn't hit him. So that was well disciplined on both parts. That was a reception he had to step into, and when you're stepping into, when you know there's defenders there, that's a tough catch. So hats off to Miller as he makes another great catch and shows why he's part of the heart of the championship team. At least that's what they're trying to be. Olsen now takes the ball. He's going to roll around the right side of the field looking for a receiver. He throws it, and I can't tell if he tries to ground that. Of course, the Skyline crowd want us to believe that as they cheer here around us.
Or rather, Madison.
Or the Madison, excuse me, Skyline. What game am I at? But I think, as it looked like to me, as I was watching, it looked like the Madison player hit Skylar's elbow as he was throwing, and so it was a well-defended play as they hurried his pass, and it just didn't come out right. Olsen again with one back in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to that back as he's going to cut the corner. And he slows down now, makes a turn. I don't know why he didn't keep going. He had the corner there, but he still pounds out a few yards as he tries to push that forward. That's Kean Jesperson again. With his second and third and fourth effort, he gets about 6 yards out of that. It's a lot of work for 6 yards. Doing his job there. Big third down here for the Tigers as they're deep in their own territory. Olsen will take the snap out of the shotgun. A man in motion comes in front of him. They fake it to him, and across the middle, a great pass. It's going to be caught, but it's going to be caught short of the first down as Miller makes the reception. Waiting for the officials. Nope, now they call it, it's a first down. I thought he was going to be another inches situation from the spot because they looked like the down marker was on the line, and they marked that ball just behind the line, but the officials, again, having a better line of vision than we do up here in the booth, and they'll give that 1st and 10 to the Tigers. So great third down capitalization there. The Tigers hand off, go off tackle, and they're going to pick up probably another 5 yards. That is Jesperson. Trying to see the mark. It does look to be very close to a 5-yard gain. Boy, if you can get a running game to go and get 5 yards a pop, that's a good game. 3 minutes and 34 seconds and counting here before halftime. The Bobcats leading 14-7 over the Tigers. The Tigers trying to keep this drive alive and get in the end zone and tie the game up before halftime. Olsen now forced to pull it in, and he tries to run it, and he's going to power forward. Heads up play by Olsen. That's where his athleticism comes in. He should have been sacked for a loss of about 3, and he's going to power forward for a gain of 4. I just love to see athleticism in kids like that. That was heads up play, and I'm sure his dad Nick was a long time ago quarterback here at IF, a big star. I'm sure his dad's taught him a few things. They're going to hand off up the middle. They're going to get the first down and then a lot more. What a great play up the middle as that is, again, Jesperson. He's having a good night now as they bring the ball down to the 47-yard line. 1st and 10. Just under 3 minutes to go. The Tigers eating up the clock. So that game plan that I was saying, 21-7 for the Bobcats, Tigers saying phooey on that. We're going to just eat this clock up, take it in, score just before half so the Bobcats don't have a chance to move the ball, and we'll go into a tied game. That's a much better halftime talk for them. All right, Tigers line up. They've got two receivers at the bottom of the screen here with us. One at the top, both back in motion. Olsen looking to throw. He's going to be caught in the pocket. He collapses and throws the ball. It falls incomplete, and the officials throw the laundry, as you like to say, Matt, as that will be an intentional grounding penalty, I'm sure. Two different flags, so just curious. One flag was over by the line where the ball ended up. I'm curious if there's two fouls or just one.
Yep, and there it is.
Intentional grounding against the Tigers, so they'll lose not just the down, but the yardage, and that's a painful one. They do that by design so that they don't do that very often.
Yep.
Trying to see where they're spotting the ball now. The officials kind of having a little conference here to figure out the spot.
Well, and that's, they, as we talked about, there were two flags on the play, and that all just goes back to, just backing up what, each other saw, and just, it's a lot better to sell it to saying, I saw it, he saw it. We both, pulled our flags on it. And
if the commissioner gets on you on Monday, you can say, hey, there was two of us, not just me. Right?
Exactly.
Matt, one of our local officials here, does a great job on one of his other jobs. I guess school's one job. So they'll mark off that yardage. Now it's going to set up a 2nd and 15 for the Tigers as they lose that first down. The officials now, the Madison crowd screaming about the clock, but the clock is running as the head judge starts it. Olsen over the middle, makes a connection, and a great catch and return by the Lida. I hope I'm saying that right. Lida makes the reception and takes extra yards as he picks up a 16-yard gain, and that'll be a first down, Tigers. And they're moving that ball. And eating the clock with just 2 minutes and 19 seconds as they're getting ready to run this play. Now they're trying to do a little bit of a hurry-up offense, I think. They're going to hand it off, go off tackle. He breaks it, keeps going. A great play. And that's their powerhouse, Jesperson, who's just been making plays on receptions and running tonight. And with 2 minutes and 4 seconds left in the first half of game, Jesperson going to be credited with, I'm trying to watch, that is a first down. I was going to say from the spot, it looked like it was well past the first down marker, but they weren't changing it, so I was a little confused there. I always have to pay attention to the officials. First down with 1:57 and counting for the Tigers as they try to get into the end zone before halftime. Olsen looking for a receiver downfield. He finds one, but unfortunately, the receiver was trying to make his move before he made his catch, and Thompson not able to bring it down. It'll be an incomplete pass and a second down for the Tigers. It does stop the clock. That's one good thing, Matt.
Absolutely. And, talking about the chains moving, I think that was a result of just the chains crew here at Ravston Stadium just really trained. And they only move when they see, a ref, specifically tell them to move, and I think they're just waiting on that. So
that's what they're supposed to do, so they're doing their job well. All right, the Tigers now with a 2nd and 10. Olsen's going to take the ball, a quick pass over the middle, and again dropped. That was a great read, but the pass just a little bit low. I think that was Miller going down to try to get it, but now it's going to set up a 3rd and 10 from their, it looks like their 25-yard line, and the Tigers, they got to pick up the first down here. I think instead of going for a touchdown, and they haven't, they've been going for that yard marker. Now a timeout on the field for the Tigers, I'm sure, and it now indicated is the Tigers on a timeout. I'm just curious. They've got, I guess at this point, 2 plays. Under 2 minutes to go. I don't know that it'd do you any good to punt from the 25, but I don't know that they have a kicker for a place kick, for a field goal.
Maybe they can recruit the Thunder Ridge's kicker.
Oh, that's
the other
right.
night.
Was that Thunder or was it Highland?
Was it?
It's Highland's kicker.
Yeah, it was Highland.
Highland's kicker. That kid, what did he boot? A 47-yarder?
Yeah.
I mean, that was amazing. Matt and I on a call just a couple weeks ago, the Thunder Ridge Highland game. And Highland with a kicker that was booting him from the 45-yard line in warm-up. And I mentioned it to Matt and said, that's a great warm-up, but can the kid do it in a game? I mean, really, in high school football.
Right.
And then in the game, he lines it up and boots a 47-yard field goal. So I had to eat a little bit of crow and say that's a all-conference, all-state kicker in my book. He has my vote. All right, the Tigers get a chance to talk about what they want to do, probably on a couple of plays here, as they line up on a 3rd and 10. Olsen out of the shotgun, a man in motion coming in front of him, a low snap. Olsen with a throw, tipped away by the Bobcats as he had a, it looks like he's throwing that low by intention so that they can go down to a knee to make the catch, trying to make sure it's not picked off because they are throwing into coverage. Notice that double coverage back there. And Madison, again, the second time tonight we've seen one of the defenders, now one for IF and one for Madison. The defender, without looking at where the ball is, just puts their hand up, and it hit it. So some great timing and lucky breaks for both teams. And pass defense as the Tigers now with a 4th and 10, time running out in the second half or the second quarter. They're going to hand it, fake the handoff, a throw over the middle, picked off by the Bobcats. And I'm not sure if I'm the Bobcats, I don't let that drop because that's a turnover on downs. If it's not, they just lost 15 yards where they could be. And with 1:37, giving them the ability to throw downfield. Take a large pop. Dredge has shown us that he has the capabilities. And the Tigers now just a little frustrated as they were moving the ball, just kind of stalled out here at the 25, throw an interception, trying to make that first down mark, which they did, only it was for the Bobcats.
Well, and you got to wonder, that's probably a hard thing to teach a high school aged athlete to do, is to not, to, just swat that down, when it's so easily right there in his arms.
Oh, you bet. And on that interception, recognize Valora, Kieran Viola, he gets the interception. The Bobcats now with that run up the middle, Dredge just powers through. He's going to get the first down. And I'm not sure, well, if they're trying to get it in the end zone, they want the first down to stop the clock. It's first down with 1:31 to go as they look to go into their hurry-up offense. Dredge, the lone man in the backfield, and I don't think I've ever seen naked coverage like this as often as they run it that works for them. That pass did not, as Dredge throws over at the sideline trying to stop the clocks as he tries to hit Valora, and does not work. So 1:19 left in the half now. First half, excuse me.
I've seen two minds about it at this junction in a game. Right before the half, you have about a minute left. You can either just chew up some clock and just get it down, or like Madison's doing right now, driving.
Yeah, I think I'd want to keep the clock going. I don't want to put it in the air a lot to risk the interception. That's their second interception of the night. So I think I'd pound it out, just chew up some offense and let that clock run out. But they're not going to do what I say. That's why I'm a broadcaster. They throw over the middle. Great catch by the Bobcats. Works out well for them as that's their star receiver now, Kieran Valora. He makes the catch. Really one-handed catch it looked. And falls forward. Takes the ball down to the 45-yard line. 1st and 10. Bobcats, the clock now starts again with a little over a minute to go. They again throw over the middle. Same play, and it just bounces out of Laura's hands. That'll stop the clock, though, for the 1:06 left in the half. Give them a chance to talk about maybe what they want to do. Not a bad opportunity with the clock stopped to save them having to call a timeout.
Well, maybe that's what you do when you do have a
well, you got a first down.
Kid with hands like that.
Yeah.
Just pull it in.
Little surprised because that's a pass Valora's been pulling in. And for a great catch on the pass just in front of him, maybe his hands are cold. Dredge is going to take that ball. They're just going to chew it up the middle. He'll pick up a gain of 5, but that'll keep the clock going. Now under a minute to go, and unless Madison is going to concede that that's all they're going to do, they better execute that hurry-up offense really quick. And now it looks like they're going to try to do it under 50 seconds in the first half. Madison with the 1 touchdown lead over the the Tigers. Dredge now going deep. He's got a receiver. The receiver makes the catch. Oh my goodness, what a great catch inside the 10. Just check, see who that is. That's Cameron Porter. He comes up a little gimpy, limping, hurt him, but man, he just put them in touchdown scoring position with 33 seconds left on the clock. Way to air it out. Bobcats, big turn, and now they're going to
Call a timeout.
Call a timeout and really plan this out. 33 seconds, you better call 2 or 3 plays. At least I would think so. Bobcats moving the ball well tonight. Really impressive, the amount of yardage. Again, we don't have stats here, but they're, I would say, pushing in on 200 yards offense in the first half. And it's really hard to lose a game when you can rack up 400 yards of total offense if they can match the second half, what they've done the first half in high school football.
Yeah, and like you were saying about the 21-7, like that actually might come true here.
True, and honestly, less than a minute ago, I thought IF was going to take that in and make it a tie game. So it's anybody's guess as to what will happen here tonight. It appears with 33 seconds left till halftime, the Bobcats at the 10-yard line, 1st and goal, as they try to punch it in to take a 2-touchdown lead into halftime. Dredge takes the snap. He's going to be caught in the backfield. The Tigers read that well. A loss of about 5 on that as they just collapsed on him. Looks like they'll give Brendan Rasmussen the credit for the sack. And, of course, the Bobcats trying not to lose the momentum. Going to line up and hurry that along. Dredge looks to throw. He throws into the end zone. Nobody there. But that'll give him 9.7 seconds to try one more time. And frankly, that loss didn't hurt him because it brought him back a little bit, lets him open up the field for the receivers, because you're not going to, more likely than not, you're not going to run it in from here. You're going to try to hit a score on this last play of the half and capitalize. At least that's my thoughts.
I like it, yeah. You know, it's you get so inside there, and it's an awkward space to put up in the air, but it's also a little bit too far to do any kind of off tackle dives or their quarterback keep it they like.
Well, and your linebacker, once he reads the pass, can just drop back into zone coverage, and he's at the goal line. So you've got a couple of spots there already covered. Dredge now takes the snap, and they're going to blow that dead. We'll have some laundry on the field.
Delay of game.
Delay of game. How do you get a delay of game when you already called the play? I'm not quite sure what happened there. I guess maybe they were trying to modify the play. Now, that's painful. The Bobcats start this drive at the 10-yard line, now back at the 20-yard line. So they've lost 10 yards on this drive, or this series, I guess. And Dredge now going to look for his end zone player. He finds one, but it drops, almost picked off on a second effort by the Tigers, and that'll bring us with 4 seconds left and a 4th down. So they're going to get one more shot. I honestly thought that was going to be the last play of the game. 9 seconds doesn't last very long, and it seemed like that was 9 seconds. Probably seemed like a lot more for Dredge as he was getting ready to take a hit there as he threw the ball. But they're going to try a field goal. Haven't seen this from either team tonight. So the kicker, Jeff Williams, in. It's going to be blocked by the Tigers. Tigers going to pick it up. That could be, they get brought down. That was a great end to the half, folks. Hope you're loving it. Porter Tuttle picked up that blocked kick, and he was opening up with some wheels, and hats off to the Bobcats as they made just enough of an advance on him to get his feet out from underneath him, brought him down. Ends the half. Now at halftime, the score, Madison 14, Idaho Falls 7. So neither team scoring, as we talked about doing. and will bring us into a one-touchdown differential here at halftime. We'll recognize just a couple of our sponsors before we go to commercial break. Eagle Rock Dental, with convenient locations in Arco, Idaho Falls, Rexburg, and Rexburg. Eagle Rock Dental Care is your place to go for state-of-the-art and personalized dental care. Eagle Rock Dental Care has a 50-year tradition of providing their patients with calming, comfortable, and thorough dental care experience. Eagle Rock Dental can take care of all your dental needs, including the ever-important athletic sports guards. Visit EagleRockDentalCare.com to learn more or to request an appointment today. I'll give my personal plug. That's my dentist. The doc's there, Dr. Cooper, Dr. Barnard, and their office manager, Jeff, dear friends of mine, and they do a fabulous job. So go visit Eagle Rock Dental. Also, Taylor Chevrolet. Taylor Chevrolet is proud to support the Madison Bobcats, as they've been serving the Upper Valley for over 90 years with excellent service and a stellar sales team. Taylor Chevrolet is the home of oil changes for life. That's right, buy any new or used vehicle and never worry about your oil again. Taylor Chevrolet is your Southeast Idaho auto leader with a wide selection of Chevy, Buick, and Cadillac models. Come in today, get the vehicle you want with oil changes for life. Stop by their Rexburg location or visit their website at www.taylorchev.com. And our last sponsor, Upper Valley Ortho. Upper Valley Orthodontics is the Upper Snake River Valley's renowned state-of-the-art orthopedic and sports medicine clinic. Doctors Michael Larson, Kevin Lee, and Travis Torngren are board-certified orthopedic surgeons treating all conditions of the shoulder, maybe the shoulders of soldiers, who knows, but all conditions of the shoulder, elbow, hand, and wrist, hip, knee, foot, ankle, and any sports-related injuries. That kind of sounds like all of them there. Please call them for an appointment at 208-356-9550. That's 208-356-9550. Or request an appointment online at www.uppervalleyortho.com. Upper Valley Orthodontics in Rexburg is a proud supporter of Madison Athletics. Those are our sponsors, folks. We'll take a commercial break here as Matt and I talk just a little bit about what we've seen in the game coming into halftime, and then we'll be back and get ready for the second half of tonight's game.
Planning for back to school. That's why I got my kids vaccinated for COVID-19, so they can be protected from COVID when they're back in the classroom. Kids 12 and older can get vaccinated. The vaccines have been researched and tested. They're safe and they work. Getting vaccinated was quick and easy. You can walk into a pharmacy to get one. We got our COVID-19 vaccine, and I hope everyone will choose to get vaccinated too.
Get a free COVID-19 vaccine today. Find a location near you at covidvaccine.idaho.gov.
Lead the charge into a brighter future with the all-new 2022 Volkswagen ID4. With an EPA estimated range of 250 miles, the ID4 knows how to go the distance. It's an electric SUV that's as fun to drive as it is stylish and functional. You don't have to sacrifice good looks for great performance. So stop by our dealership today and jumpstart your year with the Volkswagen ID4. Teton Volkswagen, where it's always no problem to buy and service your vehicle.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Ads like this keep popping up, but I see through the hype because those vape clouds people claim are just water vapor contain as many as 31 different chemicals, like formaldehyde, the stuff they preserve dead bodies with. And while the flavors sound all harmless, we still have no idea what these ingredients could be doing to our bodies. But I already see vaping for exactly what it is.
Get the real facts at BehindTheHaze.com.
I decided to get vaccinated because I wanted to protect myself and my family and my customers from COVID-19. When I went to get my COVID-19 vaccine, it was an easy process, is readily available. Since I got vaccinated, I'm confident I'm protected against the COVID-19 virus. My life has returned to business as usual.
We're a Valleywide Country Store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Scott here from Teton Honda in Pocatello. Our dealership operates on a no-problem philosophy that's designed to put you in charge of your next vehicle purchase. Prefer to shop online? No problem. Evenings or weekends? No problem. Need a wide range of financing and leasing options? No problem. So whether it's one of our beautiful new Hondas or just a vehicle that's new to you, at Teton Honda, we'll help you find the perfect vehicle for your needs. Experience car buying like never before at Pocatello's only No Problem dealership.
Welcome back to Ralston Stadium. We're here for the exciting, and it has been exciting, matchup between the Madison Bobcats and the home team, Idaho Falls Tigers. Tigers bringing into the game tonight a 6-1 record and really second place in the conference with a win tonight guarantees them state playoff positioning, and they're having more than they can handle tonight with the Madison Bobcats. The score, the Madison Bobcats 14, the Idaho Falls Tigers 7, as the Tigers look to use the halftime to shake off some of the cobwebs of last week's Emotion Bowl win and see if they can figure out the answer to what's been a very good offensive Madison Bobcat team. Matt, what are your thoughts as we look at the next half of game?
Yeah, I think if I was in that locker room right now with the Idaho Falls Tigers, you'd hear a lot of determination from these coaches, just trying to fire up these boys and trying to get them to really kind of assert dominance coming out of this halftime. You know, they'll be kicking off, and so that's a good opportunity just to get the defense lit up and, you know, attempt to get a 3-and-out stop, or even just to hold them to their side of the field and get back on offense quickly.
You know, here's the worry that I have if I'm a coach. Madison's offense was on the field for the last 3 minutes roughly before we went into halftime. Now Madison's offense comes back on the field, so that means the IF defense is spending, with the amount of time that Madison has chewed up in offensive drives, the Idaho Falls defense out there on the field a long time. And say what you will, defense is harder on the body than offense. You're hitting harder, you're trying to fill gaps. It's harder on the body. You can go a lot longer as an offensive player, usually, except maybe those wide receivers that put a lot of miles on in a game. But your middle field there, you can lose some defensive players to fatigue as you move into that fourth quarter. And that'd be my worry right now for the Tigers.
Right, and you know, I think an impact that I guess we'll see a lot more in the second half, especially with, you know, the temperature being, you know, quite cold tonight. I think you'll see just the big guys in the trenches. They'll get a little bit tired, a little bit slower, and, you know, it's harder to want to, you know, like throw your arms and hit someone as hard as you can when you know it's gonna hurt.
It's true, so true. You know it's cold even in southeast Idaho when the public address announcer tells you that the concession stands are open. Lots and lots of hot chocolate and hand warmers. You know, usually you hear hot dogs, nachos, all the fun things you like to enjoy in a game. He just advertised hot chocolate and hand warmers. That's a cold night, folks. You see a lot of little buddy heaters in the stands tonight. A lot of blankets, snowmobile suits. It's football season in southeast Idaho.
It sure is. It sure is.
A lot of, looks like they're honoring the Grid Kid teams for the Idaho Falls Tigers tonight as they get their moment of fame and run across the field. Our hats off to a great Grid Kid program, really here in southeast Idaho, as teams from Rexburg down through Shelley are fielded in future Idaho Falls players, and they just do a great job. Participated in that for a few years with them here and there, and a lot of kids playing. And if they're playing, get some experience there, they are preparing for being high school players. And I don't know who that is, the Idaho Falls Tigers. You see that young guy there just do a backflip? that kid needs to be on the team, if nothing more than just for spirit. Give that boy a jersey and a helmet. I don't care if he's in 6th grade. He deserves it. All right, with about 4 minutes till the start of the second half, Bobcats have now come out in warm-ups. We're still waiting for the Tigers to come out of their halftime adjustment speech. Matt, when we talked a couple of weeks ago, you had a great term for that halftime speech. What did you call that again?
I called it a declaration.
Halftime declaration. That really sets well with me. It's a declaration of you not going to get your butts kicked tonight. You know, every coach everywhere who's down going into halftime says that. Interesting, Matt, as you and I were on the call for the Highland Thunder Ridge game earlier this, like 2 weeks ago, I guess it was, just checking the local scores, those of you who are interested, due to the High Country Conference here in Southeast Idaho, really the championship game for 5A is being played up in Rigby tonight as Rigby entertains Highland. And it's down to Highland and IF, really, who's going to come into that second spot unless somebody figures out how to beat Rigby. But at halftime, the score, Rigby 24, Highland 14. We watched a very good Highland team pull away from Thunder Ridge, and Rigby looks like they got their hands full on that game. Could be interesting up there.
Absolutely. And what was the halftime score for that Thunder Ridge Highland game that we did?
Yeah, 3-0. Highland was up 3-0 at halftime.
At halftime. There you
that
go.
One lone 47-yard kick. But they opened it up in the second half, really scoring on every drive of the second half. So the coach's declaration for the Highland Rams really made the great changes, and they were able to pull that off. Thunder Ridge not quite so well. No score on the Thunder Ridge Bonneville game, but last I heard it was 14-7, Thunder Ridge ahead. For those of you over in the Boise Valley, Capital up on Bora 13-6 at halftime. Trying to check some of our other scores. Blackfoot and Shelley in a shock here. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Blackfoot really kind of being the dominant team in the 4A ranks here in the High Country Conference. Blackfoot and Shelley tied at 7 at halftime.
Wow.
Shelley had a really great start to the year. I think they had 4 or 5 straight wins and then had 3 straight losses. So
right.
Blackfoot having their homecoming and Shelley coming in trying to mess that up.
Oh no! Well, and you got to remember that's the Shelley team that lost to Bonneville.
That's
recently.
right. That's
Bonneville,
right.
Bonneville being winless for a couple of years now, right?
Well, certainly last year. Well, we try to have a memory no longer than that.
Oh, there you go.
But that's very interesting to see what's going on there. I'm not seeing a lot of other scores. No score on the Hillcrest Skyline game, another one of interest in the area. Sandpoint up on Moscow, 7-0. Preston up on Pocatello at half, 14-10. So that another close game here in the area.
Yeah.
And Bishop Kelly over Valley View at half, 7-0. So some interesting football. It is Southeast Idaho. Any night, any team, any game, you just really don't know what's going to happen, right?
Exactly. The scripts haven't been written. You know, it's not. Well, I was about to say it's not college football, but I guess college football they change pretty regularly too.
That is very, very, very true. Certainly, you know, it's always interesting at high school level. You've got boys ranging from 15 to 18 out here on the field, and that's just a tough age to teach things that they connect on and they execute time after time after time. You and I both were there at one point in time. You recently, me many decades ago. But just it's the volatility that you do see more consistency at the college level than you do in the high school level. And sometimes a team just says, hey, we're not going to be in the playoffs. This is going to be the biggest crowd we're going to play in front of tonight. And so let's go out and let's show them who's in charge. And so that's why it does make it any team, any night, any game.
When I just, you have a thought, it's just, when you do have these players that kind of play as the key role player, as we're seeing with Madison tonight and their quarterback and wildcat options, we see that, the possibility that maybe he fails a test that week and he's having girl problems or something, and just doesn't have a good week, and then all of a sudden his game reflects it, and I think that just exactly what you're saying.
See, that shows the difference between you and me. You're saying he has these problems, and I'm thinking, schoolwork does that to you. It makes it tough, and you go right to girl problems. And that's probably more realistic in the life of a young man at the 15 to 18-year age range. Dredge certainly not having any of that tonight, as he's been just outstanding in that quarterback position for the Bobcats. He's taken the snap and probably very close to 80, 90 yards of offense for him in rushing. He's the leading rusher for the Bobcats tonight. Skylar Olson in at quarterback for the Tigers. He's not had as much roughing yards, although he has been roughed a couple of times. He's been taken down pretty hard. Rushing yards, but he's been very good in the passing position when they can keep the pocket open long enough for him to get it off. Those last few plays of the last series for them, that pocket collapsing pretty quickly, and Skylar having to get the ball off very, very quickly. Skylar's a young man I know well. He and his mother lived in our neighborhood and watched him grow up. Good kid, like to see him. I know dozens on both sides of the ball here tonight from various activities, and just a lot of good kids. You like seeing them all have success. Sometimes it's hard to say, good to see this team win. You just like to see all the kids have great success, and there's been moments of brilliance on both sides of the ball tonight.
That's high school football, right? It's all about these young men out here, and it's wonderful. It's beautiful.
It is. It's what I love about high school football. I know a lot of our fellow broadcasters with IdahoSports.com do college ball. I never have. I enjoy high school, just the unexpected that always comes with a high school game. And tonight we're seeing that as we get ready to start the second half. The Tigers will be kicking off, and the Bobcats receiving the ball and sporting a one-touchdown lead over the Tigers. So it'll be interesting to see if they'll be able to maintain what was a great offensive game, or if the Tigers will figure out how to defend that middle run by Dredge without giving up the passing game. Tigers lining up for the kick. The kicker for the Tigers, Manwaring, gets a nice boot. I think they're going to let it go. It's in the end zone. They'll call that a touchback. Manwaring's got a leg. I'm impressed.
Really good kick. I mean, it's a cold night. You just try to avoid any kind of return. So,
well, when you see a kicker get the full extension, which he did, I mean, he had his leg clear up there on a cold night like this. You just really worry that they come down with an injury.
And that's true, yeah.
Hats off to Carter Manwaring, because he booted that thing and got a great kick out of it. So we know they've got a kicker. Can he kick field goals?
Hey.
All right, we're going to have the Bobcats start where they left off with nobody in the backfield, just Dredge in the shotgun. Takes the snap, and they're going to start where they left off. Not going to work so well for them. As the Tigers read that well, they bring him down. The Tigers, Grayson Thomas and TJ Lambert bringing him down, and I think that's a loss on the play. Nope, they're going to say no gain on the play. Maybe a half a yard even. Yep, they do spot it, half yard. So that didn't work so well. Good adjustment by the Tigers. They listened to their coach's declaration at halftime on at least that play. We'll see if they'll be able to maintain that as the sideline sends the play in now with Dredge. He's getting a workout. He has to run the play, come over to the sideline, get the play, run back into the huddle, and then run the play again. He's going to drop back. He's looking for a receiver. His pocket's collapsing. The Tigers pushing him heavy, and a nice pass. I'm trying to see. The Tigers look like they brought that in. They did. The Tigers with the interception. Did you see who that was, Matt?
I didn't get a number on that. That was I
think that was number 17, Lida. But he just pulled it right out of the Madison player was underneath him, and I think he just had about an inch on the catch and was able to pull it in.
Good defensive move.
There's the defense we said had to just to come out and light things up, and they do. They give them one play and take it away.
Well, an excellent field position here. That's the 38-yard line?
38-yard line, yeah. So the Tigers now looking to capitalize on that turnover as Olsen is going to hand off. They're going to go off tackle. They'll probably pick up a good gainer. Great play. That's our buddy. Remember his name, Sam Gamino Salinas. And unfortunately, there's a little bit of pink laundry on the field in the area where they call holding. And I think that's probably what we'll see as we see the Tigers walking back. They do indicate now a holding penalty against the Tigers. I guess that's why he was able to turn the corner, huh?
And that probably was. It's usually the case there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That was a great run. Great run by Gamino Salinas, and they ran him 3 or 4 times to start the game and didn't hear much from him. So I'd like to see him open that up again.
Yeah, absolutely. It's either a defensive tackle that gets through the line and a lineman just wants to do his job and holds on just a little bit too long, or a defensive end is really containing really well, and someone just grabs him a little bit too far outside and tries to steer him back in, and those are the kind of things it obviously helps. So that's a they'll penalize the team that that got away with it. So
yeah, Tigers going the wrong way on their possession as now Olsen drops back. He looks to pass. He's rushed. It's going to be picked. No, it is not picked off. He missed his receiver. His receiver was supposed to cut in, and he went straight, and that could have easily been picked off by the Bobcats. Olsen's one of those that once he left, he launched it, saw his receiver going the other way. He was probably going, please, 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 no. Wants to have that back, but it's going to set up a 2nd and 20 for the Tigers. Desperately needing to move it off the 50-yard line. They were down at the 38. So Olsen out of the shotgun, one back in the backfield, the back in motion. They're going to hand it off to the motion man. And wow, Madison reads that well. Nothing there. That's Tayson Clark makes the hit really at the line of scrimmage. They're going to say no gain on the play, or maybe a loss of a yard. Well executed by the Bobcats.
James Langua, the carrier on the play.
Say that again.
James Langua?
I just want to listen to you say it. I believed you.
Oh, man.
Olsen now on a big 3rd down, needing to find some receivers without losing his pocket. His pocket collapsing. He throws. He makes the connection to his receiver. Receiver's going to take it down for extra yardage. That's Peyton Thompson. Thompson been the lead receiver for the night, and that looked pretty. Trying to see if it's going to be enough yards, but I don't think it is. It's going to be shy of the 1st down mark. Sets up 4th and I think 3. Yep, 4th and 2. So, wow, dang close. He ate up a lot of yardage. He's going to take it under center. I think they'll go with quarterback sneak here, and they do as they try to get Olsen to push it forward, and I'm not sure he did. The line judge doesn't indicate that he did. Now they do. Olsen goes forward. 1st and 10 Tigers, and hands off, hands up, whatever you want to call it. The looked like the center on that. It says he's an offensive line. Max Ritchie, he powered that, came up lame, run off the field, but he was the reason they got that 1st down. So good job, Ritchie. 1st and 10 Tigers, and a new set of downs as they go for a quick pass out to Miller. Miller gets the snap and not much else as he's going to be brought down. Again, a great defense. Cannon Allen reading that play perfectly, follows him out, doesn't let him get anywhere, and a loss of 2 on the play.
I just saw that as the Bobcat defender helped pick him up at the end of that play, and I've seen it on both sides tonight. You really like to see that.
That's that part about where I saying these are just really good young men, both sides of the field. That proves it. Yep. That just proves it. Like to see it. Okay, line up with a back just off the left side of the quarterback, Olsen. He takes the snaps, going to hand off to that back. That back, our buddy, I always have to make sure I get it right, Gamino Salinas. I'm not doing it right because I didn't get Sam. Sam Gamino Salinas.
That's the full name, yep.
I love it. He takes the handoff and powers really through there. probably going to pick up a gain of 5. Yep, that's what they give him. So now sets up 3rd and 5 down here about the 25-yard line for the Tigers, trying to get to the 20 in a new set of downs. Olsen's going to take the snap again out of the shotgun, drops back. He's looking for a receiver. He checks his second receiver in the end zone, throws it too deep in the end zone. He had a receiver, but the extra 5 yards of English he put on the throw, just too much.
Just a little bit too much.
So that's going to, boy, I don't know about that play. That's now a 4th and 5, really a long 5.
Yeah, on your own 25.
They've been doing a good job with just getting a first down and then trying to hit the end zone. Not sure I look at an end zone on a 3rd down, but then again, I'm not the coach. I'm a broadcaster. It's easy to call it from the booth. At least I think so. Coaches probably don't. Olsen's going to take the snap on the 4th down, coming hard at him. He makes the throw, and the catch is dropped. Oh. Man, that was tough. Jager Hendrickson just wasn't able to bring that down. That'll be a turnover on downs.
Well, and I thought he had that, but I guess he just turned a little bit too quick.
He had it in his hands, and as he turned, it just kept going. Wasn't able to pull it in. That could be a case of the cold hands tonight.
Yep.
Most of the receivers have gloves on, but it's really tough to get that ball and stick your fingernails into the ball when that happens. So Dredge now for the Bobcats is going to take that snap and go up the middle. The Tigers again doing a good job of kind of caving in and not letting him get big yardage, but he's still going to pick up probably 3 yards. 3 yards a pop, you can still get a first down in 4. Now they only give him 2. So not a great spot for the Bobcats, but at least it's 2 yards of offense that they didn't have.
I think what you do here is you kind of open it back up, and they're putting wide outs both sides, and you open back up, and then you try going back up in the middle again with the quarterback.
Yeah, that's a good call. And they do send now 3 receivers to the top of the screen, and boy, IF reads that well. Nothing there as the motion back, Valora, is brought down. I think that's Bo Anderson for the Tigers. Just reads it, takes him right down, and a loss of 1 on the play. So a big 3rd down for the Bobcats as they kind of had their way in the first half on most of their downs, connecting on 1st and 2nd downs, and I think they only had maybe 2 3rd downs, and they connected on both of those. And now a 3rd and 9 deep in their own territory. So Dredge with a back in the backfield. He goes in motion. They're going to throw downfield and not connect. He threw behind his receiver. It just wasn't there. The receiver was defended. He was trying to put it over the wrong shoulder. And it's going to fall incomplete, and they'll kick it to get out of here. It looks like Will South, the receiver, if I can read these numbers correctly. Yeah, it is Will South. And they'll bring their pump man in, and that looks like that's Valora. Valora, apparently an all-utility player. I'm going to have to pay attention. Is he playing defense too? High kick by Valora. It's going to come down right at midfield. Get a Madison bounce, a great Madison bounce as it picks up another about 13 yards beyond where it comes down. They'll mark it at the 38-yard line. That'll be a Tiger 1st and 10. So with 6 minutes and 26 seconds left in the 3rd quarter of play here, it's been a lot of nothing in the second half of this 14-7 game. Madison with the lead, 14, IF 7. Some movement a little bit. Tigers have shown that they can move it a little bit, but just not able to capitalize it. Now get another chance to see if they can answer the scoring dilemma that they faced tonight. Take the snap. They're going to hand it off to our buddy. No, that is Miller takes the snap. I thought that was Galinas, or Gamino Salinas. Didn't mean to hyphenate his name. He's going to pick up about 4. Waiting for, yeah, it looks like 4 yards on the carry. And now, official timeout. It looks like we might have a down player. Yeah, we do have an injured Bobcat. Injured player. Well, that's poetic justice for you. Having a little bit of a booster drawing here at Ravston Stadium, home field for the Tigers. They drew the name for a Traeger smoker. Guess whose name they pulled out?
I think I heard Olsen.
Pam Olsen, Skylar Olsen's mom. So not only does he get the opportunity to play hopefully a good game, he's going to go home and smoke some meat, get something to eat. Madison Bobcat being helped off the field is Bryce Bogan. He's kind of limping there. Let's hope that he gets some treatment, but it looks like it's his knee, and that's not a good sign. Limping and holding his knee, he goes over to the bench, and he's in some pain. Hope he's able to come back. Olsen connects now to his receiver. Receiver's going to get some yardage. I got distracted by the flag thrown on the field, so it's going to be interesting to see what that is. Parker Chafin gets the reception and yardage enough really for close to a first down, but they're going to say an illegal block to the back by the Tigers. Ouch. That's painful on what was working for them. It must have been when he cut back and somebody came in and hit the kid in the back that was defending him.
I think so, yeah. I think, he had to come kind of hook around to get that pass, and I think as he's hooking around, the guy that was on him got cracked back. And
well, that was what was going to be a first down, now second and about 14 for the Tigers as they mark off the yardage and repeat the second down. Tigers line up, trying to figure out the answers. They got triple receivers at the top. They're going to get a man in motion out of the backfield. The pass goes to him, and the Bobcats they read that motion man well. No gain if not a loss. That is Jesperson, their lead guy, comes up a little bit lame. He's jumping around. But Sam Rasmussen on the stop for the Tigers. Big kid. And he apparently has some wheels because he moved that line very well. Didn't let Jesperson get anything as he came around that corner. So hands up. A big round of applause for Sam Rasmussen. How we go?
That'll work. All
right, Olsen back to pass. The pocket collapses as he gets it off, and the pass gets away from him as he's hit and just falls incomplete. We'll bring up a fourth down for the Tigers. Again, another great sportsmanship there with the Bobcats and the Tigers is the kid who hit Olsen put his arms around him, held him up, and then stayed and kind of kept one hand around him, making sure he was okay. I'm not sure Olsen appreciated it, rightfully so, but great sportsmanship shown there. Because at the college rank, they'd have just knocked him down.
Right.
All right, on a big fourth down here, the Tigers have to punt it away. They get a great punt. Boy, that's not just a good punt, but a good bounce. It might go into the end zone. No. Bobcats bobble it there. They're going to be brought down. Oh, wow. Great position for the Tigers as they bring the Bobcats down at about the 3-yard line. Did you see who that was, Matt?
I had Hunter Miller on the tackle for the Tigers.
Well, not only can Miller receive them, he can take them. So he's had some good yardage on receiving kicks tonight. This a chance for him to set his Tigers up in really, if the defense can hold them in good territory, if they can keep the Bobcats from getting the first down, that's a tough punt to make from a short field where they're at right now. Dredge sets up with an empty backfield, a man in motion coming across. They're going to take the snap to Dredge. Dredge goes up the middle on his signature move, and he'll pick up probably a gain of 4 or 5. Good yardage for the Bobcats. Give him a little bit of breathing room as they set the ball at the 7. So they did give him 4 yards on the carry.
Yeah, kind of I guess I won't say risky, but just an interesting call, considering they've been kind of stuffed in the last few. But
it's true, but they didn't. I think the Tigers didn't expect that they would do that.
Right.
Because of the short field, they kind of expected that they'd try to come off of the edges here around the tackles And they did what they've been doing all game, just took it right up the middle. Madison now with a flag flying. It's going to be
delay of game.
Wow. That you don't expect to see this deep. That's just not a great move. I think they must have lost track of the count. Didn't look. They're going to move that ball back. Matt, that looks like that's the 2-yard line?
Yeah, I think at that point it's is it half the distance?
Half the distance to the
Is
goal.
it?
I'm just looking at the down marker, and they moved it a yard behind of the original line of scrimmage, and that'd make it the 2. I guess I've got some binoculars. I could use those, right?
Yeah, I think we're looking at the 5-yard line though. I think
You're right.
that's on
You're
the
right.
6.
Okay, I was incorrect there. Dredge in the end zone, looking for receivers, going to keep the ball, come out, hit, and taken down. Great play by the Tigers as Dredge just doesn't have time to find his receivers. And that name I've been seeing a lot tonight, TJ Lambert making the play. He's having a great game tonight. Lambert all over the defense. And really, they're going to say that was no gain on the play. Back to that line of scrimmage, a yard short of the original line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 11 for the Bobcats as they try not to be caught back in their own red zone. Now with a back in the backfield, Dredge is going to go for the quick pass. Trying to find a receiver. There isn't any. He goes up the middle. He could get it, and he's going to be brought down short, but not by much as the Tigers collapse in on him. Great play by Dredge, but just short. So now we have a 4th down for the Bobcats in an area where you don't have any choice. You kick it and get it out of here. You do not want to turn the ball over in the red zone.
Exactly. Yep.
Tigers with a receiver at their own 40, we're going to say 47-yard line as the Bobcats get the punt away. It's a nice high drive. Make the catch, and he doesn't wave a fair catch. Tries to make some moves. He gets away. He comes around this left side of the field. Is he going to make the corner? He does not make the corner. He's going to be brought down out of bounds, but that is Bo Anderson with a gutsy move at midfield, makes the catch with a defender within about 3.5 yards of him, and really eats up a lot of return yards. He's going to bring that back. Looks like he's going to give him 16 yards on that return. Hard fought yards. And they'll set the ball up at the 35-yard line. Tigers now in great field position to be able to move that ball if they can get some plays, some running plays. They're going to hand it off up the middle. Bounces off the corner and going to come around. That's our good friend Sam Gamino Salinas on the run. Well, wait a minute. Yep, that's Sam. He's going to eat up about 4 yards. I don't know why they don't do that more. Because he really does pop about 4 yards of carry. And the way that pocket's been collapsing on Olsen, you think that would be a good play to kind of keep him from cheating in on that pocket for him. Olsen's now going to keep the ball in a designed quarterback keeper. Not really much there. I think they're going to give him a yard and a half on the play as Madison does a good job of collapsing that middle and really nowhere for him to run.
Well, Tim, I don't recall ever asking you what position you played in your heydays, but you know, I was a lineman all throughout high school, and you know, I never knew what it felt like to be sitting in the pre-snap, knowing that the ball's coming to me. And
yeah, I didn't either, to be honest. Wow, there's Sam again. Does what I asked. Sam Galino Salinas takes the snap, and they get a yard out of it. Really. So again, this is why they shouldn't listen to me. Matt, you're right. I never had that position either. I played on the offense on the line, as you did. On the defense, I played a linebacker position.
Okay.
So the only time I knew that ball was coming to me was when it hit me in the pads on an interception. So. All right, Olsen's going to take that ball again. He's going to push up the middle. That big body going to get him the first down. Olsen just second efforts that all the way down to the 20-yard line. and then helps his tackler up. Did you see? I tell you what, we almost need to give away a sportsmanship player of the game as well, because there's be about 10 kids on each side of the ball here who are trying to get that sportsmanship award as the Tigers pick up a first down at the 20. Now Olson with a quick pass off to his favorite running back, Camino Salinas. He's tripped up, really. It might be a loss on the play. Nope, they're going to put it back at the
clock running down to about 20 seconds right now. We'll see if they
catch.
decide to keep it.
They better hurry up if they want to get another play off. The Tigers don't look to be in a big hurry to get a play off as we now under 10 seconds. I think they might get a snap off to get one more play. They probably will. Now they're not going to. I don't know what happened there. They should have had that snap and had a free play without any time, but they don't. So the Tigers driving, trying to get into the end zone and even up this game as we have 3 quarters of play. It's the Madison Bobcats 14, the Idaho Falls Tigers 7, as we recognize a lot of our favorite people tonight. Teton Auto Group, one of our power sponsors for the Tigers. Teton Auto Group, Rockwell Homes, Bingham Memorial Orthopedic Institute, Conan Heating and Air Conditioning, and for the Bobcats, Bingham Memorial Orthopedic Institute, Killinit Clothing, Teton Auto Group, Upper Valley Orthopedics, John Adams GMC, Grand Peaks, the affordable quality healthcare, Madison Memorial, Taylor Chevrolet, and Flam Funeral Home. And since we have the time, some of our commercial sponsors. How about C&B Operations for all your commercial John Deere new and used agriculture equipment? Choose C&B Operations, East Idaho's premier John Deere dealerships. Visit C&B Operations at 1102 West Bridge in Blackfoot for all your equipment needs, or visit them online at www.deerequipment.com. That's DeereQuipment.com. C&B Operations in Blackfoot is a proud sponsor of all of the athletics in East Idaho. Okay, Matt, catch us up.
Olson in the Tigers attempt a forward screen, and it gets tipped, but the Tigers come down with it and maybe get back.
They got a yard, it looks like. Yeah. 2 yards maybe. So a big third down then for the Tigers as they're close to the red zone. 3rd and 8 as they look. Olson leaning down to his lone back next to him with a little bit of a change. Might look to see him. That's what I thought. They throw him out of the backfield. He's going to get the catch. And the run. Is he going to make it in? I think he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Tigers! And that's our buddy Sam Camino Salinas with the pass out of the backfield, an audible by Olson on a heads-up read of the defense. And Camino Salinas shows his stuff both in speed and grit as he had to just punch through the last 5 yards and gets into the end zone. I was going to say to tie it up. I guess we've got to wait for the extra point here to do that.
Extra points pending.
But they're going to kick it. Manwaring's shown us that he can kick it with a strong leg. So we could be at a tie game at the 11-minute mark here in the 4th quarter. Manwaring lining up the ball. See, lines up, get ready for the snap. And it's going to be a jump offsides by the defense of the Bobcats. Bobcats not liking what just happened. They've been comfortable in this lead, this game, and now that lead evaporated to a tied score. So, Matt, what do? Half the distance to the goal?
I think so. Where we're only getting, it's
inches.
2.5. Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
All right, Manwaring again lines up the ball, takes the snap, the kick, it's up. It looks good from here. It is good, and folks, we are at a tied score with 11 minutes and change left in the 4th quarter here at Ravston Stadium. The score's tied. The Tigers 14 and the Bobcats 14. We'll take a few minutes here again to recognize our sponsors. Conan Heating and Air Conditioning. They're your Lennox premier dealer in Idaho Falls. Conan Heating and Air Conditioning has been providing superior HVAC service in the Idaho Falls area since 1946. That's 75 years, and Matt, that's longer than I've been around, even though you think that that's not true. They've been doing that with highly qualified and experienced technicians. No job is too big or too small. For all your furnace repair needs in Idaho Falls, trust the job to Conan Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit them online for more information at www.conanheating.com. And of course, Eagle Rock Dental with convenient locations in Arco, Idaho Falls, and Rexburg. Eagle Rock Dental is your place to go for state-of-the-art and personalized dental care. Eagle Rock Dental Care has a 50-year tradition of providing their patients with a calming, comfortable, and thorough dental care experience. Eagle Rock Dental can take care of all of your dental needs, including the ever-important athletic sports guards. Visit EagleRockDentalCare.com to learn more or to request an appointment today. Tigers now kicking off to the Bobcats as they're going to look for the answer here. They make the catch. That's Will South making the catch. He gets back to, I think that's what the 16-yard line as he's brought down. Looking for 62. 62 brought him down. I don't see him on the Tiger roster. So whoever that was, I must have read it wrong. Could have been Lambert. He's 52. Maybe they brought up a player. I don't see 62 out on the field. Yeah, there is a 62 out there. I don't know who it is. It's a great play, but he, unfortunately, not being recognized by us with his proper name. I apologize to his family tonight. They didn't give us him. All right, Dredge makes the pass out of the backfield and nowhere to go. The Tigers all over that. Valora takes the catch, and then he's going to take the loss as Colton Litta makes the stop. I'm trying to see who else was there with him. I missed who it was, but man, both of them just right there. A loss of 4 on the play.
Well, Tim, it took them a couple quarters, but Tigers really just kind of showing who they have been this whole season. Score's still tied here, 14-14.
Still tied, and it's just a second down into the series, but the Bobcats needing to get their offense back to what it was in the first half and get their offense moving down the field and get some points. Dredge drops back to pass. Nobody there. He's going to keep the ball and run when he's got some wheels. Hit hard right past the 20 and pushed out of bounds. That kid was leveled with a shoulder pad and just stands up. I'm going to give that kid the Mack Truck of the Game award. That was a hit that hurt me up here in the booth. And he laid there for about 2 seconds and then jumped up and walked over to coach to get the play. If they send him up the middle after that hit, they either don't like the kid or they really, really trust what he's got to do. They line up with the bare backfield. Dredge in the shotgun, going to take the snap. He drops back to pass. He looks, he's got a receiver, but it goes over his head. Dredge takes a nasty hit. The defense just leveled him as he let that go, and I think that last hit and this hit maybe catching him off guard. James Longwa, is that what we call that? Longwa?
Longwa. That sounds better than what I was saying.
That's my Spanish pronunciation. I hope it's correct.
Yeah.
But he leveled Dredge. So that brings up a big 4th down. The Bobcats having to punt it away. They get a nice kick off. Another Tiger catch. That is Bo Anderson at the 50. Doesn't get quite the return he had before, but he'll pick up a couple of yards. And that'll set up a Tiger drive on the Madison side of the field. So things, you're right, things actually in the Tigers' benefit, I guess, in this 4th quarter. Really the second half, but specifically this 4th quarter, it's working out to their advantage.
And that quick series right then, just I think it's really going to change some momentum here.
It can. Again, you know, these kids playing for all the marbles tonight. And Tigers take the handoff to their go-to guy this last drive, our friend Gamino Salinas, and he's going to get maybe 4 yards. Remember what I said? He's good for 4 yards.
There you go.
He picked up, well, of course, that was a halfback pass out of the backfield for the touchdown. He picked up about 15 yards on that one. But he can power that thing up the middle and usually get 4 yards, and did on that play. So he lines up next to Olsen again. Olsen with the shotgun. He's going to do the same fake, but he throws over the middle. He connects to his receiver. Trying to just see that. And that receiver is Colton Litta. And he makes the catch, and that's going to be a first down. Tigers, here's that drive, the momentum that you talked about, Matt. And if they can keep this going, they could, with 8 minutes and 20 some odd seconds going here in the fourth quarter, that could really be an advantage for them. Pass over the middle is deflected. The Bobcats doing a great job of knocking that and almost jumping to pick off a bobbled ball interception, but it falls on the ground and it'll be an incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. That was a lucky break.
That was. It goes up like that. That's it. It's anyone's ball right there.
That's center field. Doesn't matter who's on the team. It's center field. All right, we're going to come to the short field here as the Tigers line up. One receiver to the top of the screen, 2 at the bottom. Olsen with the receiver at the top of the screen makes the catch. That receiver, what a great move as he just outplays his defense. And Peyton Thompson with the catch and the return, looking for the spot to be the 14-yard line. And that is what they get, the 14-yard line, 1st and 10. Tigers, momentum now seriously on the side of the Tigers with 8 minutes and counting to go in this fourth quarter. The Tigers driving very close to the red zone. I guess with Manwaring's leg, it is in the red zone. Olsen throws into the end zone, trying to get a reception and a score quick as he tries to get Thompson to get that pass, but he just, his bionics kicked in. Wasn't able to make the catch as the pass was about 5 yards past the corner of the end zone, unfortunately. So we'll set up for a 2nd and 10 at the 14. Just trying to check scores. Rigby kind of pulling away from Highland now, 44-14 in the fourth. So Rigby has that well in control. And here we go, our buddy again with a carry. Gamino Salinas takes the snap and powers forward for a gain of 5. Took it 1 yard beyond what I said he usually does. Got the 5 yards, so it's going to set up 3rd and 5 for the Tigers in the red zone really now. Gamino Salinas, the back next to Olsen. Olsen waves him side to side. Now they set. Olsen's going to call for the ball. Hands it off to Gamino Salinas. Hands it off, and really, I think with Olsen waving Gamino Salinas side to side, Madison cued on him, and they're going to lose yardage on that play. I'm waiting for them to spot. Looks like it's going to be 4th and... Well, it looks like they're not going to take any yardage away. It looks like it should be 4th and 6, but the spot's 4th and 5. So
Idaho Falls calling a timeout. We'll plan something up for this play.
Wise. Think I would too. On a 4th down, you can't. Here's the question. You've got a tied game. You're in the red zone. You've got a kicker who can easily kick this in. Do you try and get a set of new downs and get a touchdown? Do you just get points on the board?
Let's see. They're on about the 10-yard line.
10 yard? Oh yeah, they gained it. So yeah, they're about the 10.
I think I would take the kick, just with how dominant the defense has been. With these quick series against the Bobcats. But that being said, I guess we're looking at the huddle, and there's a couple players coming in and out. I don't see any kicking tee or anything.
So they're going to go for the first down on a 4th and 5. Little surprising. I think Manwaring has shown that he can. Oh, they are going to bring a kicker out. There he is, right there. I was like, that is too far back for a shotgun. And they do bring Manwaring out. He's going to be kicking opposite of the way he usually does. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can get the hook. He's going to need the hook instead of a straight kick. Snap, the kick, it's up. It's good. Manwaring gets the field goal and the lead. So, Matt, your coaching credentials still good. Mine have been revoked years ago. But Tigers now taking the lead with 6 minutes and 48 seconds left in the half. It's the Idaho Falls Tigers 17, the Madison Bobcats 14. But plenty of time for the Bobcats to eat away at that clock and pick up their offense much as they did the first half and score. And it just takes a touchdown, and they have the lead. So a three-point lead, not enough to make you comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the gamble that they took. They'd rather take the lead right now rather than making it harder to take it back. I think it all comes down to the Tiger defense and the Bobcat offense. We'd like to thank Taylor Chevrolet. Taylor Chevrolet is a proud supporter of the Madison Bobcats and has been serving the Upper Valley for over 90 years. With excellent service and a stellar sales team, Taylor Chevrolet is the home of oil changes for life. That's right, buy any new or used vehicle and never worry about your oil again. Taylor Chevrolet is your Southeast Idaho auto leader with a wide selection of Chevrolet, Buick, and Cadillac models. Come in today and get the vehicle you want with oil changes for life. Stop by their Rexburg location or visit their website at www.taylorchev.com. That's TAYLORCHEV.com.
All right, our thanks to our sponsors. We appreciate these sponsors so much because they're the reason that you can log in and watch our game live, at the video stream, no cost to you, as opposed to other options. All right, Madison now with the opportunity to answer the points, really the 10 points of the Tigers. Dredge is going to take the snap, go forward. He'll pick up a good gain on the play. Trying to see if it's the typical 5 yards he's been getting, and it is. They give him 5 yards. So he's as consistent as Camino Salinas for the Tigers. You can almost count on a 5-yard gain up the middle for Dredge. And as much as he's ran that ball and as many hits as he's taken, I hope they have a good sauna in that fancy Madison facilities, because he's gonna have a few bruises and bumps tomorrow.
Well, they've got to have at least one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. It's a good facility up there, very nice. Dredge takes the snap again, drops back to pass. He's looking. He's going to tuck and roll with that. Gets a great block and some good moves. He'll get the first down and going to be ridden out of bounds.
And there's a flag.
Yeah, and that's going to be a late hit. He rode him to the ground.
Yeah.
That's a good call. He gets the first down. They'll tack 15 yards on top of it, I'm sure. Tigers... it's going to be a holding penalty again, or an illegal block in the back against the Bobcats.
Interesting. Okay.
Whoa, that. Well, again, good thing I'm not on the field.
They had us fooled, I guess.
Well, that absolutely, he rode him to the ground. That's the definition of a late hit. But they called before that, and basically an illegal block to the back on the Bobcats. They're going to move the ball back to, looking very closely here, 20, 30, 34-yard line. It's still a first down for the Bobcats, but not the field position we thought we were going to have. This is the difference in the 34-yard line and what looked to be the 35-yard line on the other side of the midfield. So,
yep.
Wow. Madison crowd not liking that. Certainly shocking Matt and I. All right, Dredge moves his back out of the backfield in motion. Takes a bobbled snap. He's going to throw it. he throws it. I'm not sure if it's completed. It is not. Waved off by the official as Valora kind of slides down looking back. And I think he probably just trapped that against the ground, and it's no good. Second down and 10 for the Bobcats. I was just trying to catch some scores here. Still no score on the Thunder Ridge Bonneville game, but Rigby, everything that Highland wanted and more. Rocky Mountain 17, Meridian 13. Lake City Lewiston tied up at 21. There's a tight game going there. Kate Dredge takes the snap. He's going to go up the middle because it's worked for him, of course. He'll pick up probably 4 yards on the carry. Capital and Bora tied up at 13 in the fourth quarter. That's a lot of tight games tonight.
Yeah.
See if we can get any 4A games here. Blackfoot and Shelley still show 7 apiece. I just think that's not been updated because that shows that it's a halftime score and they've got to be in the fourth.
Right.
Sandpoint 14, Mountain Moscow 6, Preston 14 to 10. Again, that says half. And Bishop Kelly now well ahead of Valley View, 35-14 in the fourth. Matt, you're probably more interested in the 3A ranks, right? Your old alma mater, Snake River, playing tonight.
Yeah, tell me the Panthers.
Don't see them on there, but Sugar Salem all over South Fremont in a grudge match, 21-0 in the third quarter.
That's a rivalry game right there.
Big time, big time.
Yeah.
Sugar Salem kind of stuttered at the start of the year, and now I think in control of that conference for another bid to state.
Well, and they're a traditional powerhouse in the 3A rankings. And
yeah, they are. They really are. I think the 3 straight state championships last 3 straight years. That sounds like a powerhouse to me.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Little stop in the action here as there's a timeout on the field, and that's why we're trying to update some scores for you. Really none of interest in this side of the state, so we'll check the 2A. West Side all over Aberdeen, and the halftime score 41-0.
And that's to be expected. West Side just dominating that league.
Yeah, Wendell 42-6 over Valley in a final. So she's trying to pay attention to the 5A scores because that certainly has direct relevance to this game.
Absolutely.
Rigby now coasting. Looks like Highland will have an opportunity to vie with Idaho Falls if Idaho Falls can hold on. But right now, a 3rd and 7 for Madison as they look to keep driving and spoil the Tigers' playoff hopes. Dredge throws, he completes. He gets his receiver. That's going to be enough for a first down. And that is number 8, Cameron Porter. Porter makes a great reception at the sideline. I think he tried to make a move, but stepped out of bounds. So they stopped the clock, moved the yardage markers, but that's a first down right close to midfield. So Madison having to work for it, but getting that ball movement and doing what they've done the whole game, eating the clock. They've now had the ball in this drive for almost 3 minutes. And there's only 4 minutes and 37 seconds left. So be interesting to see as they're now going to lose yardage as they tried to come around this short field corner with Valora, and the Tigers read it the whole way, give them nothing, and they'll lose 3 yards on the play. So now 2nd and 13 for the Bobcats.
Well, I think it's no worry right now. You know, obviously we just want to keep moving downfield, but as far as timing, I think that they're doing just fine. In fact, they want to keep the clock running a little bit right now, so they can just at the end of this ball game actually, punch it in and take the lead, so they don't leave the Tigers too much time to answer back.
You bet. And they've shown this half that they can. So Dredge now back. He's going to throw deep. He's got a receiver, and that receiver's going to take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Madison. Wow, what a catch and a run. Logan Crane, one of the great athletes, the Crane family, out of Madison. He makes a catch on a well-thrown pass by Dredge. Placed it really where only he could catch it, and then Crane takes it into the end zone. And now, with 3 minutes and 44 seconds, The Tigers trying to figure out how to get some points back on the board. Madison again with the lead.
You know, and obviously at this point it is better just to put the points on the board to take the lead, but you know that does give the Tigers time to answer.
Well, clock management becomes a serious issue as now the Bobcats put it up and it's good. That's Jeff Williams again getting the PAT. So our score now 21 for the Bobcats, 17 for the Tigers. The Tigers have no choice but to try to come down this field and score a touchdown. A field goal again is not going to do them any good. They'll still be down by 1.
Yeah, we have ourselves a ball game.
Yeah, folks, if you came onto the broadcast tonight expecting a blowout, you're on the wrong broadcast. It's been a great game. Madison came out really kind of dominating a lot of the first half. The Tigers able to answer in the first part of the second quarter with their own touchdown. Went into half 14-7, Madison lead, and then really no score in the third quarter. Both teams just pushing each other back and forth. And then the Tigers on the last drive able to move the ball down to the 20-yard line or the 10-yard line, and then kicked a field goal. Looked like could be possibly the game-winning, just because of time and how far Madison had to move the ball. And then Madison just punches, and then drops back and throws a dime into the end zone.
Oh man!
So anybody's game. 3 minutes and 44 seconds left. The Bobcats with the lead. And now the kickoff is they're going to kick to the Tigers, who try to figure out how to get that to work for them. Short squib kick. It's going to go out of bounds. Was it touched by the Tigers before it went out of bounds?
The official threw his flag, so I'm guessing.
Oh, did he? I was looking for it. Where's it at?
Either it might have been a yard marker. I'm not sure. They're both pink in this case.
We've got a tent right in front of us where the ball went out of bounds. So if he did throw a flag, you can't see it. And he must not have, because they are not placing it at the 35. It's at the 33.
I think they're giving it that was a yard marker there. So.
Not a lot of difference. It would have come to the 35. So 2-yard differential. As the Tigers now, their own 33, and 3 minutes and 44 seconds left. Try to get the ball to go down for a touchdown, which is the only way they can win this game now. A touchdown. They're going to give it to my good buddy. That's Camino Salinas. He takes it up the middle and picks up probably 8 yards, maybe 9. Wow. Great play. He just kind of picked up 2 yards at 6 inches off the ground there on the tackle. 2nd and 1. So it was a 9-yard gain as Olsen again takes the snap from the shotgun. Hands off again to Sam. Gamino Salinas comes around this corner, picks up the 6-yard gain needed for a first, and brings the ball out to the 50-yard line. That's midfield. They'll move the chains. 1st and 10 Tigers. Boy, this is 3 minutes and 9 seconds and counting. Tigers moving the ball. Man in motion coming across the middle. Olsen's going to drop back, throw it to his motion man. Motion man not having anything there but a flag and a tackle. Lots of flags now.
Lots of flags.
I think every official threw a flag on that.
Yeah.
And really, no gain on the play. So is it an illegal block to the back by the Tigers? And it is. An illegal block to the back. 4-0. Wow. All right. That's gonna hurt the Tigers as we're now just under 3 minutes of play. They'll move the ball back to the 41-yard line and replay the first down, but it's 1st and 20. Tigers needing to go the other way. The crowd here, we're on the visitor side as the Bobcat crowd. You can hear their cowbells and yelling. They're trying to keep their team ramped up and excited and stopping this drive by the Tigers. Tigers, Olsen back to pass. He looks at his secondary receiver. He throws deep. It's going to go too long for his receiver, unfortunately. Another step, Anita had it, but that receiver laid himself out. That had to hurt. I'm sorry, but Peyton Thompson has been just a great receiver. He gets up, gangly. I would say he's probably going to go over to Coach and say, Coach, my ribs really hurt, because he landed on those ribs.
Right. And not to mention, that's just disheartening, you know. That's before the game is to take it back. And
Well, and Thompson's had a great night. He's been a consistent receiver. You'd love to see him get that catch just because he's put so much into it. Olsen out of the shotgun on a 2nd and 20. Takes a low snap, drops down, picks it up. He looks downfield to throw. He throws. I think he's going to have a receiver. He's got a receiver and a reception. They call it good. The two receivers fighting over the ball, but that is Hunter Miller pulling in a long throw by Olsen. Remember what I said the first half?
Yep.
Just let Olsen go loose over the middle.
Hey.
And they just picked up a 1st and 10 at the 12.
You might have to talk about getting your coaching card reinstated.
Well, even what is it, a blind squirrel can find an acorn eventually? All right, Tigers now driving, looking to get that touchdown they so desperately need. They're going to hand it off to Gamino Salinas. I keep wanting to pluralize that. He's not going to get a lot. He doesn't get his customary 4 yards as he tries to go off tackle. Gets 1 yard. I pounded up the middle. He gets 4 when he goes up the middle. So 2nd and 9. If they can get a first down, they'll be within the 3-yard mark. So give them some breathing room. I say pound it in. Give it to Gamino Salinas, and they do. They give it right up the middle, and I think he will only get 3 yards on that carry. Quite a collapse of the middle there for the Bobcats, doing a good job. They take the ball down to the 9-yard mark, I think. No, am I reading that right? It is the 9-yard mark, and the Tigers going to talk about it with a minute 20. Woo! A minute 20, folks. The ball at the 9-yard mark, 3rd and 6. They need to get the ball to the 3-yard mark to be able to get a first down, or of course the goal line for a touchdown. So interesting call. Do you get the first down and try to get 4 downs to punch it in with just under a minute? I'm not well, just over a minute, excuse me. I'm not sure that you have the luxury of 4 downs from the 3.
Right, exactly. It's less about game management and more of just, we need some points.
Yeah, I think if I'm the coach, I'm willing to let Madison gamble on some long throws with a 3-point lead.
I'd say you're right, yeah.
If they can punch it in for a touchdown anyway. Be interesting, see if the Bobcats will be able to hold them. The Tigers on a 3rd down having no choice but to get either the first down in 6 yards or the touchdown. Kick is not an option with the score being 21-17. Olsen takes the snap, rolls around the right side. He's going to throw into the end zone. He had a receiver. The receiver drops the ball. Oh, that is Miller, Hunter Miller, and he has been just good as gold all night. And I think it looked like it hit his pads as he tried to bring it in, and he was diving for it. So now it's a 4th down. Tigers going for all the money here. They have no choice. 4th and 6 or 4th and goal. I guess 4th and 9 if you're going to go to the goal line.
Everyone on their feet now.
Yeah, everybody on both sides of the stadium. And Olsen's going to take the snap, looking for a receiver. Bobcats in the deep, and they're going to knock it down. No good. Turnover on downs. Madison's going to pull off the win. At this point, a minute 10 left. They have to take 3 knees and the game's over.
Yep.
Not the ending we expected here tonight. I thought it may come down, well, at half anyway, when we talked, we thought it may come down to anybody's game. And when Olsen connected to that long bomb, I really thought Tigers were going to be able to push it in, and they just come up short. Went away from the game that was working for them. Turnover on downs. The Bobcats now have the ball at the 9-yard line, and a minute 10 seconds on the clock and a 4-point lead. I don't know if they'll take a knee, but I think they'll probably just rush it up the middle, and they do. Dredge takes that ball, pushes forward, going to pick up 3 yards on the carry. More importantly,
Idaho Falls has a couple timeouts that we'll definitely use.
That's the most important thing, is they make sure that Idaho Falls burns any timeouts. So really a minute 2, 3 downs. Madison crowd all deciding that the game's over. I see a couple of them leaving. I'm not quite sure that's a smart move.
Yeah, that'd be unfortunate.
Well, I'm just, the Madison crowd has a history there. I told you before about a game I called a couple years with Lake City and Madison, where Madison was down. Game was over, under a minute left, and Lake City had the ball. A bobbled snap before they could kneel down, and Madison recovers and then turns around and throws a bomb into the end zone, and Madison wins the game in what was a game that was over. So Madison's been on the other end of that. They don't want to give the Tigers anything, so I'm sure they've got a deep back. Interesting now in their formation is they probably will take a knee, and they do. Dredge wisely waits for a few minutes till the Tigers get in close to him and then takes a knee. The Tigers will no choice here but to take a timeout or let clock run, and so far it looks like they're just going to let the clock run. Are they out of timeouts?
I'm not sure. They might be, or rather.
They must be, or they're conceding the game, because they do not call a timeout. Now 1 snap away from this game being over, and Dredge takes the knee. The game is over. The Bobcats will celebrate an upset of the Idaho Falls Tigers. The Tigers will drop to 6-2 on their season, and the Bobcats now will pick up a 5-3 record. Boy, that just muddies the waters for the playoffs here in this 5A High Country Conference. Not even sure what to say they're going to do. Congratulations to the Madison Bobcats. They're going to have the win tonight over the hometown favorite Idaho Falls Tigers. We're going to drop away to some commercials here for just a minute as Matt and I analyze the game and look for an IdahoSports.com player of the game. A number of candidates tonight for that position. We'll take a few minutes to talk about that, and we'll be back with a post-game wrap-up.
It's time to start planning for back to school. That's why I got my kids vaccinated for COVID-19, so they can be protected from COVID when they're back in the classroom. Kids 12 and older can get vaccinated. The vaccines have been researched and tested. They're safe and they work. Getting vaccinated was quick and easy. You can walk into a pharmacy to get one. We got our COVID-19 vaccine, and I hope everyone will choose to get vaccinated too.
Get a free COVID-19 vaccine today. Find a location near you at covidvaccine.idaho.gov.
Lead the charge into a brighter future with the all-new 2022 Volkswagen ID4. With an EPA estimated range of 250 miles, the ID4 knows how to go the distance. It's an electric SUV that's as fun to drive as it is stylish and functional. You don't have to sacrifice good looks for great performance. So stop by our dealership today and jumpstart your year with the Volkswagen ID4. Teton Volkswagen, where it's always no problem to buy and service your vehicle.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Ads like this keep popping up, but I see through the hype because those vape clouds people claim are just water vapor contain as many as 31 different chemicals, like formaldehyde, the stuff they preserve dead bodies with. And while the flavors sound all harmless, we still have no idea what these ingredients could be doing to our bodies. But I already see vaping for exactly what it is. Get the real facts at BehindTheHaze.com.
I decided to get vaccinated because I wanted to protect myself and my family and my customers from COVID-19. When I went to get my COVID-19 vaccine, it was an easy process, is readily available. Since I got vaccinated, I'm confident I'm protected against the COVID-19 virus. My life has returned to business as usual.
We're Valley-wide Country Store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Scott here from Teton Honda in Pocatello. Our dealership operates on a no-problem philosophy that's designed to put you in charge of your next vehicle purchase. Prefer to shop online? No problem. Evenings or weekends? No problem. Need a wide range of financing and leasing options? No problem. So whether it's one of our beautiful new Hondas or just a vehicle that's new to you, at Teton Honda, we'll help you find the perfect vehicle for your needs. Experience car buying like never before at Pocatello's only No Problem dealership.
Welcome back to Ravston Stadium as we've completed tonight's game. The Madison Bobcats pulling off the win over the heavy favored Idaho Falls Tigers. Tigers only having one loss on the season before tonight's game, and that was to the powerhouse Rigby Trojans. The Madison Bobcats coming out with really a well-executed offense, kind of dominating that first half. They really moved the ball up and down, 200 yards of offense in the first half. Didn't quite have that much offense in the second half, but just enough for an additional score, and the difference in tonight's game is the score 21-17 over the Tigers in what looked to be, whoever had the ball last, kind of a win. And the Bobcats pull it off. Just to update you on some other scores, we mentioned earlier the final score for the Rigby Highland game, the other game that has significance to this game. Rigby just all over the Highland Rams, 44-21. Just going to be interesting to see if anybody can stop those Rigby Trojans as they move towards the state playoffs. I know Rocky Mountain's, I think, undefeated as well, the second rated team in the state. It could very easily come down to the Rigby Rocky Mountain game. That'd be a great state championship to watch.
Yeah, that's the one.
Thunder Ridge 20, Bonneville 7. I don't see any other local teams. We'll check the 4A ranks here. Blackfoot score not updated, still shows the tied score at half. And no other. Preston, wow, this became close. Preston 14, Pocatello 17. Pocatello beats the Preston Indians. That was not what we thought would happen by that halftime score, so congratulations to the Pocatello Indians. And we'll check to see if Sugar Salem beat up any more on South Fremont. They did, 28-7 in the fourth quarter there. Our thanks to IdahoSports.com's Friday Night Flash. You can catch all the scores you need to stay up to date on not just your team, but all the other teams in the area. And this time of year, with one regular season game left in the season, that's of significance to see who has a playoff berth. And the 5A ranks here in the High Country Conference, I think, has 2.5 playoff berths this year. I'm not quite sure on that. I think so. But certainly so some positioning now going to happen as to next week's game, who will get that playoff spot between Madison and really, I think it depends on who wins. If Tigers and the Rams both win next week, I think they have identical scores. Might end up being a coin toss.
Yeah.
And then that would eliminate the Bobcats, assuming the Bobcats win again next week. So, wow, when you can go 4 deep and not really know with one game left in the season who's who, that's a great conference.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and, if you're out there and you're wanting to know more information, or just get more the inside scoop on all these upcoming games, you can always check out the prepcast that happens throughout the week on IdahoSports.com, hosted by some fellow broadcasters, and get the inside Inside
Brandon
scoop.
Barney and Lance Taylor do a great job on Southeast Idaho's Prepcast. They know their stuff. They both eat, drink, and sleep it, I think. But great. You should listen in. They are always good to give you some insight. I know I'm going to be cued in this week just because I want to see the playoff implications for a lot of teams. Some teams we already know they won't be able to progress beyond the last game of the season. But a lot of conferences like what we see here in the high conference, 5A, still undetermined beyond the top team.
Absolutely.
Well, brings us to the discussion. We had a great discussion off the air while it was a commercial about who to give this player of the game to for the Bobcats. There's been just a ton of great plays by different players. I mean, you could look at Logan Crane. He didn't have a lot of yardage, but he had the touchdown catch that sealed the win. Got to look at him. You got Kieran Valora, who has been the leading receiver for the Bobcats. You've had a couple of different receivers out there. They've really kind of alternated. Will South had some great receptions. Jeff Williams has been consistent. Every PAT was down the money. Every kick was really in place. But it was just hard to overlook for the Bobcats the consistent power drive up the middle of Ben Dredge, their quarterback tonight. And Matt, I'm not sure what you think, but he certainly gets my nod.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's hard to ignore that when like you said, we don't keep stats as closely as we want to, but with probably over, I don't know, what would you say, over 60, 70 yards rushing?
For Dredge?
Dredge.
He went over 100.
Over 100. There you go. Yeah, exactly. And you can't just ignore that. And
not when you have a quarterback that can rush for 100 yards a game and be your leading rusher.
Well, and we saw multiple times, on the sidelines where the play maybe went a little bit too far, and he kind of got pile drived, but he kept popping right back up.
Yeah, that kid impressed me tonight. Mom and Dad Dredge, if you're listening, Grandma and Grandpa Dredge, whichever the case may be, you've got a kid that you've raised good. That kid's an athlete. He kept going when I would have been really tempted to stay down. Just stay down. Isn't that what they always say?
Yeah.
He popped up every time.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, and on the mention of just good kids in general, I'd also just like to give just a shout out to both teams tonight. Very very gentleman acts of class acts of sportsmanship on both sides, and just a clean, good football match tonight.
Matt, I think you and I are going to start a tradition. The last game we had, we gave a sportsmanship award to the offensive line for I think it was the Highland Rams, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Kind of the sportsmanship, because they worked hard, they powered through. It was an honorary sportsman of the game. Tonight we're not going to give an honorary. I'm just going to say let's give really sportsmanship awards to both teams, because I can't narrow it down to either team being better at the sportsmanship than the other. Tonight, both teams showing great class. And so we'll give both Madison Bobcats and the Idaho Falls Tigers the Class Act Award of the game. Matt and I's own created award. Matt and I will be together again here at Rapston again next week on the Skyline Shelley game. So we're just going to make that a tradition.
Yeah,
we're going to give a sportsmanship
absolutely.
award.
Yeah, we're just making up our own awards, every single time. And
I know sports may not be happy with us, but you know what, guys? It was a great game and a lot of fun to call. Thanks for being here with us. This has been an IdahoSports.com game stream production of East Idaho Game Night, presented by Teton Auto Group and Portneuf Medical Center, as well as your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And Project Filter, where Idaho fights tobacco. We'd like to thank our sponsors tonight, our local advertisers, Teton Auto Group, Rockwell Homes, Bingham Memorial Orthopedic Institute, Conan Heating and Air Conditioning, Killinet Clothing, John Adams GMC, Grand Peaks, Affordable Quality Healthcare, Madison Memorial, Taylor Chevrolet, Flam Funeral Home, C&B Operations, Eagle Rock Dental, Upper Valley Ortho, and Rockwell Homes and Thompson Holman Weiler. Thompson Holman Weiler, they've served East Idaho for over 25 years. The law firm that offers extensive experience in a wide range of legal services and represents a broad range of clients. They range from local clients and individuals to international corporations. They realize how important a client's cause is to them individually, so they strive to give each case the attention it would receive if the client handled it themselves. No matter the size, if you need an attorney, call Michael White at Thompson, Holman, Weiler today, 208-522-1230, or visit their website at www.thwlaw.com. That's thwlaw.com. Thompson, Holman, Weiler is a proud sponsor of Idaho Falls football, and they wish the Tigers good luck. Falls up short tonight for them, but we are grateful for those sponsors and everything that they've given to us to bring this broadcast to you free, and both audio and visual. Maybe the visual better than the audio. Not sure. Matt, what do you think?
It's still up in the air.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. Also, special thanks out to Pat Lloyd. He's the Idaho Falls Activities Director, a great host. He's always provides well for us. We appreciate Pat and his entire staff here at Ravston Stadium, home of the Idaho Falls Tigers. Everything they did to help make sure this broadcast got to you, the viewer. Congratulations again to Ben Dredge. He's our IdahoSports.com player of the game. Thanks for joining us tonight as the Madison Bobcats defeat the Idaho Falls Tigers by a final score of 21-17. For my broadcast partner, Matt Kelly, and everyone else here behind the scenes at IdahoSports.com, my name's Tim Belknap saying thanks for being here. Join us next week at IdahoSports.com for another exciting night of high school football.